Hey, it's Ross Bain with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Eclipse phase, the 8th C. I was just going to say no evil, but like, whoa, that's nope, definitely wrong.
That was a little while ago.
That was. People are in the RPPR Discord. We're talking about it recently as we recorded this podcast. So in the 8th C, this is the second score for the Thursday group of the 8th C, as the group has split up to lay low because y'all blew up a lot of shit on Mars. And
Allegedly.
also stole a bunch of very important people's egos.
Allegedly.
No, we didn't.
Your friends are sorting through the egos to figure out the best way to exploit them.
Allegedly.
And you'll figure that out in the next main adventure. But for
found
now,
an X-threat lab too.
you just need to get away from Mars. Yeah. And so the Wednesday group is going to the Vulcanoid gate, yes, to go gate crashing, to do a gate crashing heist, which they told you about in brief. It's claim jumping, sounds very interesting, but also extremely dangerous because you're on a fucking exoplanet. Got no backup there. But you are going to the sun because you have figured out a potential for profit in an undercapitalized market, so to speak, or undercapitalized in terms of fraud, because that's what this is all about, fraud, because you have realized, one, that there is, you've through your research, you've all gone through and you found out, one, there are space whales. Two, they race. Three, people bet on them. Four, as far as you can tell, no one's rigging those races. Therefore,
Untapped market.
Step 3, profit.
Yeah. There's a bunch of steps in between there. So the sun, specifically the upper corona, on the northern parhelion of it. All three, there's three, and they're all stationed in the highly elliptical heliocentric orbits that bring them to the sun's north pole at perihelion, where stations are relatively safe from flares and coronal mass ejections. Coronal mass ejections are really bad.
Oh, yeah.
For the entire inner system, but especially if you're on the sun.
Well, if it's directed right at you, you don't.
Yep.
Especially if you like your systems.
Yeah, we're not going to go into the tech of how they manage that bullshit of being even there, because they're space whales.
They're flying space whales. We don't really...
The Surya morphs, the largest morphs out there that are biomorphs, and yeah, they're.
Except the actual uplifted whales.
Yeah, they. There's not many of those.
No, they're like on like one or two places.
And somewhere tonight we're hearing a distant scream from across town.
Yeah, I think Hale would be proud of us. We found out a way to use them in Eclipse phase.
I can hear him shaking his head, just go like, nope.
Oh, it's fine.
Didn't the game creators have trouble finding use?
Yeah, because they're peaceful. They just kind of float around the sun and be nomads.
You like the sun.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they do race. There's a population of about 3,000 Suryas. They are all entirely whale uplifts, and they're nomadic. But they check in at one of the three stations on a regular basis to sort of resupply and that kind of thing. That's Uka Yulia. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that because it's Finnish. But Uko is the habitat for them, but there's two other habitats. One is Aten, which is controlled by the Planetary Consortium, technically the Martian University of New Shanghai, which you have some connections to, but there's links to Cognite, Direct Action, and 9 Lives there. So it's some sort of shadowy military corporate hyper lab thing.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah, not that one. You're going to be forecasting to Hoverman Geist Checker. Hoverman Geist Checker is controlled by the Argonauts and the Titanian Commonwealth. It's sponsoring dozens of research studies that has a population of about 4,000 people, and it is relatively open culture and run on nano-socialist lines. So, and it's also the only one that allows tourism, which is what you guys are going to be technically going as tourists, where you can sleeve into Surya morphs, or the other type of morph that is popular, salamanders. So you can also get coronal adapted morphs. Those are the only types of morphs that can exist, even in these habitats. They're all vacuum, they're all very hot, but they are, livable if you have a specially adapted morph. But yeah.
So the coronal adaptation is like one morph point?
No, it's like 5. So if you want something other than a Surya or a salamander, it's going to be real expensive. So if you get basic morphs, that's. But yeah, there's no Reaper morphs on that one because again, this is a touristy, open, nice place. But so we'll get to that in a second. To give you an idea of what your sort of job is, or the idea that you've had is one, the space whales race each other because they're nomads. They have different little tribes and different pods, and they like to talk to each other and they like to compete and they like sailing, flying, whatever it's called, through the upper part of the sun. Upper corona of the sun, and so that includes racing. And sometimes it's safe races, sometimes it is navigating around the various flares, or on the edges of flares, and other dangerous phenomenon around the sun. Not too dangerous, because again, Suryas don't want to lose their morphs any more than anyone else does. So, and now, because of this, it's become sort of a fringe hipster thing to know about these races and observe them through XPs that the Suryas upload for rep bonuses and that kind of thing.
And also gambling.
And gambling, yeah. So it's fun, sort of informal. This is, and so there's not a lot of hype or media awareness about it. There's certainly nothing organized about it. So basically, it's in prime for you to gentrify it and hype the shit out of it. And that's the thing. Right now, the betting pools are very small. It wouldn't be very profitable because there's not many people betting on it right now. So your job is basically to be sort of a Don King kind of thing. You need to hype the shit out of this and blow it way out of proportions and get a lot more people betting on it. Then you need to rig a race. And
I don't mind saying, I think this is going to be a David-heavy session.
Well, you all will have opportunities to do shit. Yeah, so...
I do not.
Well, that's the thing. It's hot. A sneak thief could gain a lot. There's two...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have uses, but David's going to be our top.
So there's the formula is going to be... The pool is going to be intensity times reach. Intensity represents the sheer grandiosity, the sheer craziness, gimmickiness of the hype you bring around. And reach is how far do you get it out? Is it just going to reach Mercury and Venus? Is it going to get to Mars? Is it going to get the whole solar system? You have to market to different habitats, different polities, because they have different cultures. But the more polities, planets, essentially systems that you get involved, the bigger the betting pool is, and the more the more profit you stand to make by rigging the race. And obviously, of course, when you rig the race, you have to determine how safe or risky are you going to be. Because, for example, are you going to be safe and bet on both sides to a degree so that even if the side you want to win loses, you don't lose any money? Sort of insurance, but obviously you could just bet it all and hope that you don't fuck up or that no one catches you rigging the race, because those are all considerations. And so for a sneak thief, for example, you could plant stuff on people to blackmail them and then make them do what you want. You could spy on people to get inside information. You could plant information to make one person pissed at another, to create a rivalry between two Suryas. There's all kinds of things you can do. So
right. Let's start some smack talk.
Exactly. So you also need to figure out who are these racers going to be. Are you going to recruit actual Suryas, who are a weird nomadic socialist culture that doesn't give a shit about money, or humans? In fact, some people think they're actually becoming an alien culture because they're whales who live on the sun. They don't have a lot in common with the rest of us.
So, would you say that something in terms of, xeno empathy might have a nice...
Yep. That would actually be quite useful.
Hello.
Too bad we don't have an async in the group.
But you have somebody who can...
If people understand what asyncs are. So, yeah.
No, that is too bad. If we had one of those.
So, are one of you going to pretend to be a Surya? And pilot a morph.
I honestly think I'm going to be my skills.
You could be the one that then takes a dive.
I could actually take that in studying that, because honestly, and the reasons I could give for this are I've never had a chance to actually experience this type of morph right now, and being a designer by trade, that would be... Both of you could be... You could just rig it on both sides, but of course, yes, at least one of the racers has to be thought of as a native Surya, otherwise there's no interest. If two tourists are,
going
putts, yeah, who gives a shit?
No, and I'm going to be... My skills are going to be better with the salamander, because I'm a sneak. I sneak.
Well, that's... You can,
I
you
imagine
can sleeve into both.
but it might be a little hard to sneak in a space whale.
Well, if you want to get outside of habitat, you have to be in a Surya, because... Well, actually, no. There are solar survival suits that allow you to, assuming there's no flare, CMS, coronal mass ejection.
That could be dangerous. I jumped onto a spaceship with insane mutants.
Yep, you did. Well, they were ex-humans, technically, not really mutants.
They were terrible.
They were terrible.
For a split second, I forgot I'm really good at grappling and escaping grapples.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, they were good at that too.
Okay.
To be fair, you also thought the page number was their skill.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, touche. Bring back my...
But you know what?
Yeah.
It is fair.
All right, so you can do shit before. So right now we'll say we will not start you at Hoverman, Farcast into a morph. You could say you are in the inner system in a ship with Farcasting facilities, so you can Farcast out and come back to your original bodies later.
That's the idea.
So you're just in a freighter, holding up so you can do research and that kind of thing. And what do y'all want to do? This is going to be an open-ended session. Basically.
Well, then I say let's first gather as much intel as we can on the racers themselves.
Well, that's the first thing. You need to figure out who is going to be racing. Is it going to be you versus a native Surya? Or are you going to get two Surya? Or are you going to... One of you is going to fake being a native Surya?
I'll fake being a native Surya.
So here's my thought on the scam to start off with.
Okay.
Do you know the thing that always managed to work back on old Earth?
Mm-mm.
There were various different racers who were famous for it, but the ones that people latched onto more were the ones that had a story behind them, the ones that had heart.
Sure.
You gotta have spunk, kid.
I mean, Secretariat was an amazingly fast horse, but he was absolutely nothing without the really spirited jockey who was blind in one eye on his back.
That's a good point. Anybody with a skill related to art could make a check to figure out what would a good narrative be for a racer. Symbol space design would actually include narrative elements like that.
All right, so
I will assist.
I actually have sports.
I'll assist you.
Sports, perfect.
Go for it.
And I will assist him.
You can both do.
I'll assist him.
I will assist Greg on this.
I also have symbol space.
Well, creating a Seabiscuit, that's like symbol space.
Yeah. It's narrative. Like, it's basic narrative.
And actually, the racer I have in mind on that one is Space Biscuit. Thank you very much.
So add to your...
Sun Biscuit?
So I'll decide on my name here in a second. So 55 critical success. But
okay. I imagine we're both I like this is a good story. Yeah, do this and add this.
Okay.
Sports 25 under 30.
Okay, so you see three possibilities. You're right. You need a narrative. You need a story to really hype this. The most obvious one is there's two. Well, they're related. One is the tourist versus the Surya, the sort of like Casey at bat.
Okay.
So like the other one is can the hometown hero defeat the extreme athlete from professional sports?
The Rocky.
Yeah. So like a Rocky thing. Two would actually be John Henry, which is can the Surya beat an AGI who is perfectly programmed to be a racer?
Okay.
And then of course the third one is would actually be drama. So you fake a love triangle between three Surya, and they're racing for the hand of another one. Now, the Surya apparently are free loving and don't really have those kind of ideals by jealousy and shit like that, but the rest of the solar system doesn't need to know that. So...
Could be. See, that brings up with getting in there. It could be disappointing. So I personally am either going with like the Rocky. I honestly think the Rocky story is going to be the best one too, where we can either alter it in one of two ways: either pyrrhic victory, where he does it. I will do it, but I die at the end or something.
Well, because you got a critical. You realize the absolute best thing is to make this a proxy battle for the autonomous versus the hypercorporations. So you have the Surya, the native Surya, representing the autonomists, the nano-socialist and whatnot, versus an extreme athlete raised in the hypercorp system.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like, it's essentially the Cold War. It's Rocky II. It's
Soviet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually picturing it as more Shaolin soccer. The group of...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, the martial artists
exactly.
versus the corporate, what do you call them? Cyborgs? Yes.
Yeah. The good Chinese socialists versus the evil American capitalist swine dogs.
Except I want to make my Surya more Moby Drago.
Well, everyone's going to view their side as the good guy, though. So it's propaganda on both sides. And so it's the Olympics and the Cold War. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And so you have the great way of starting that. So you just need two personalities. One, the Surya, and two, the hypercorp Catholic. Now, with a critical success, you realize there's two ways you can get either one. There's a couple different ways you can get this. One, you could wholly manufacture at least one of them by saying you found them in cold storage. Either a famous whale uplift that was thought to be lost in the fall, and then you just manufacture an ego, or you pretend to be that one. Of course, that's super exploitative because those Suryas are going to be super happy, and then you either have to fork yourself and live among them forever, or I must go back to my home planet and die at the end. So
Yeah.
Two, you could do the same thing with a famous Earth athlete, and especially one who hates uplifts. There's like 20 or 30 you could think of off the top of your head and be like, "Fuck those space whales! Earth number one, humans number one." And so you could fake that. Two, you could of course be just ego nap or you don't have the psychosurgeon with you, so that's going to be a little harder to manufacture one.
Yeah.
Or let's see here. Yeah, an AGI would be easier to explain coming out of nowhere because it's an AGI.
Yeah, so this would be an AGI.
It'd still be a proxy.
AGI raised in a ocean like simul space for years on end until put to the sea of stars and trained to within an inch of its life.
With an anonymous corporate backer, so nobody knows
exactly
who's backing you. So yeah, you're the perfect racing machine, literally a machine.
Shamu.
There you go. I love that. Yeah.
Damn.
Or would you prefer to just call it Blackfish?
No.
Shamu? No, I think we all.
No, I'm making. That's funny, David, but it's. I have to groan at it because it is a pun.
Yeah.
God damn it.
All right, so and then the Surya, that's going to be the other thing. It's like you either need to authentically get the Suryas pissed at you and want to beat you, and then you take a dive at the end.
See, that's the idea.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
That would be the idea of just being the hypercore shill up to the moment of losing to the grand victor. So I can do that immediately. That will be a...
So there's two things...
So one, you have to piss off the Suryas. And two, you have to really hype yourself up as the perfect AGI racing machine. So yeah.
Well, I was going to say there's a combination of things on that. We can either piss off the Suryas, or we can... really encourage the Suryas, speak to them on a level and just kind of say, this is somebody that is encroaching in your territory, and you know for a fact that is not the Surya way. Why don't you be all that you can possibly be and show what you can do as a real Surya?
I mean, you can try. You don't know much about Surya culture. You don't know how they would react to that.
I don't.
You just
it might be totally.
You know how? I mean, the main thing is it doesn't really matter what the Surya think. It's what role they play for this media narrative that you manufacture. So that's the other thing is you could invent a pod and just totally fake it, and then hope no one interviews the real Surya to make sure. Yeah, we don't know who the fuck those people are. Which is probably going to happen because it's the fucking sun. It's hard to talk to Surya because they're isolationists too.
Yeah.
So you could be.
It's
both
almost like they're living in the sun for a reason. We found a place where the rest of you fuckers are going to leave us alone.
It's also the closest thing to what it was like to being a whale, back on Earth. Because, they can sail anywhere. Because it's really big. There's a lot of... the sun is big.
It's almost like it's a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace.
And they can somehow survive it. So, Neil, anything you want to research or anything like that?
I can't think of anything on top of my head.
Okay. So, in terms of doing this, obviously favors can be used to help manufacture this. The first thing you actually have to do is establish Shamu ShamU as an AGI, so you need to create a fake ego ID for it, and then sort of basically build a legend for it. Like, where did this, like, the more you can do to build up the legend of ShamU, the more interest people will have in ShamU racing the space whale.
Okay. So something else that might be good for our resident face person implanting information, see if we could actually take the narrative that we created in a symbol space and start feeding it over to Extropia or some other hypercore's version of the history channel that is not.
Yeah, you just have to figure out how. Like, you'll have to pitch this differently to every sort of system. Like, how many do you want to pitch to?
Yeah, because we could do that.
So I've got several corporate favors that are just cooling their heels.
Mm-hmm.
I figure, why don't I start calling in corporate favors to start planting those IPs now, and basically get the hype up for the big race of the season.
Okay.
Which is not going to be the next big race, but it's going to be the one after that, because I would like a big race for ShamU to absolutely trounce the competition.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely...
And establish the fact that he is a bona fide, no-holds-barred racer who is going to win by several whale lengths, which is quite a number.
It's the official unit of measurement for space whale races.
Well, considering that...
This man is the real deal, I tell you.
Considering that horse lengths was the big thing.
Yeah. No. You're right. I'm saying that's Canada now. Yeah.
So I'd like to call in as many of those favors as I can.
Okay. How many do you have available? How many do you want to spend?
I've got 3 minors for corporate.
Okay.
And then I've also got 3 minors for FREP and 3 minors for GREP.
Okay. Just make 1 for each reputation network. And you get the plus 10 bonus because they're minor. I'm not going to make you roll 3 times 3 twins, but we'll just abstract it.
Okay, so that is a 48 out of 50 for the C.
Mm-hmm.
For the F, it is... I rolled a 40, but I am going to flip that because I've only got 30 in that particular one.
Well, then you get a plus 10 on minors.
Oh, then I make.
Okay, yep.
And then the last one, the GREP, is 23 out of 70. So I make on all 3. So
okay, someone else would need to do the bare bones thing of establishing ShamU as a actual entity, an AGI in some polity. Like essentially making the equivalent of Facebook profile and all that other shit.
InfoSec?
No.
Or black markets.
Actually, you could do an InfoSec, but you'd have to actually forecast to that system first. Like, where is ShamU coming from? Like, what is it? Mercury, Venus, the Moon, Mars, Extropia? Like, where does ShamU come from?
I have a horrible idea.
Well, if you're playing him, and if you're going to play
I have a horrible...
Don't do the Jovian Republic. That wouldn't make sense. They hate AGIs.
But yeah, true, but this is like using your own weapon. See, this is the point we're making. But no. Venus probably would be better. Going through Cognite, probably.
Yeah.
The Venusian atmosphere?
Yeah. The idea is that ShamU is going to be anonymous. So, no, because if you say it's from Cognite would be like, no, could just issue a press release and say, no, it's not. So, if it's anonymous,
but Venus anonymous, so people can make the connection since that's
you can hint at it. Yeah. Okay, so to do that, you could either have to farcast there, which would be a moderate favor, and then you can make your InfoSec check there, and that'll be pretty good. Or you could call in 2 moderate favors to set it up, and people can coordinate on that. And when you forecast there, that would just be going as an infomorph, so you don't have to worry about sleeping and all that. So does somebody want to, or you could come up with some other approach. You could ego nap somebody and take their place and say, no, I'm really ShamU. But that's sort of the bare bones minimum, is to go to someone, either call in a bunch of favors for Venus, or to go to Venus and do a bunch
place the information there. So, how many favors are we looking at total?
2 moderates.
Well, 2 moderates just to have somebody do it entirely. 1 moderate favor just to go to Farcast to Venus and back. Okay. And you just remerge, and you have time. I'm not going to make you roll to breathe and all that other shit, because you'd have time to get over that
with it. So, thinking, it's probably better. As much as I would like to have somebody else on our side, it's probably better just to keep the information circle as tight as possible and have somebody else.
So just one moderate favor.
Moderate favor to have a Farcast and then put it.
Or you could. Does anybody have spare gear points? You can just spend gear points to Farcast.
Oh yeah, I do. So
okay, how many do you have?
5.
Yeah, I'd say 1 gear point just to try to Farcast to Venus as.
Okay, so I'll give you the Farcasting point, so you can get in there and back.
So Lawrence.
You basically get to do the information kind of sneak thievery.
Yep.
You're going to go to Venus. You're going to plant our legend.
Mm-hmm. Well, this will establish Shamu as an AGI on Venus.
Yes.
But your minor favors will start giving him a little bit of buzz. But yeah, go ahead and give your info check.
All right. 29.
All right. You're fine. They're not very suspicious of you. You establish them as sort of a basic person, as a basic AGI under anonymous corporate ownership. You can spend 1 more gear point to sort of give them. If somebody wants to spend an additional gear
I have
point.
1 more.
Okay, you can spend.
I'll do that.
All right, so you give them sort of a bank account. You get them, sign them up for a bunch of services, and sort of like pad their resume a little bit so it looks like they've been around for a while, and as a racing expert, consultant, extreme athlete, that kind of thing.
They've got a sponsorship deal with Tag Heuer Timepieces. The only watch for whales.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Like,
sure.
Yeah, they even once did like a mesh interview on this one show, Release the Kraken.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so
an uplift show.
Mm-hmm. So you've done the bare minimum to establish Shamu as a racer. So people would recognize that. If they research Shamu, they would pull up some information.
Okay.
So now you're going to have to do something in game in order to be like really get hype. And so you've done the bare minimum right now. So if you want to like build up the rep by winning a race, that would be Farcasting to the sun, and that will be a thing.
Okay.
So let's see here. What else? You can do more shit from your little spaceship before you go to the sun, though. You could do more tricks. You could Farcast other places and hack shit.
So at least with the race, if we want to take it through that one. Would it be possible to collaborate with somebody else on the outside to have the Surya morph waiting and modified for us when we get there?
Like how many Suryas do you want?
Well, just 1. So
okay.
This is we're going to kind of have to use the plant.
Shamu into its morph.
True,
and that's Shamu right there.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. I want it because we want to bring up this narrative, but I don't feel like I don't have as many other physical skills. So what I would want to do is maybe do either a morph design or biotech roll to see what I could do to
he wants to make
artificially artificially enhance myself enough to win one really impressive race and then hype me up for the...
another thing you can do aside from building up Shamu's personally is you can also build up awareness of...
That's what I was going to do once we
racing.
get there. I was like, I'm going to try to get the signal out far and wide.
Well, you can do that here, but yeah, go and give me a morph design roll.
Okay. All right. That is 64. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 insight to flip that to 46.
Yep. So I take it that's...
Yes, that's a success. So.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, yeah, no, that's fair. I would figure you wouldn't flip it just to fail still. So
it's fun when I do it.
It's fun when you do that. All right.
I like participating.
So, you all the Surya biomorph specs are online because it's a socialist project. The Argonauts are like, we don't give a shit. What are people... Yeah. So it's a classic kind of racing thing. I mean, it's sort of, if you thought of the Surya as a car, it's sort of a general purpose like off-road vehicle. So it has a lot of safety features. It has a lot, good handling and environmental protection. So
you're not going to need those crumple zones.
The easiest way to make it go faster is to sacrifice something. Now, if you just want to improve performance as a whole, that's redesigning it from scratch, which is a project that would take months and requires several experts in very exotic skill fields. Like designing a new car takes a whole team.
Could I do that in simul space?
Not by yourself. You don't have the skill sets.
Okay.
You'd need knowledge, whale physiology, and
I could call in references for that.
Solar physics.
I could call in references for that.
I mean, they'd have to work for you with months in this. So to redesign from scratch, the easy way, the way you can do it, is to sacrifice something to get a bonus somewhere else. So do you want to sacrifice safety for speed? Do you want to sacrifice mental stability for speed?
Crazy whale.
Do you? Yeah, you name some physiological trait. You can.
For safety. Let's for speed.
You have to give something to get something.
Yeah, no, that works with it as well. So, unless
lifespan maybe.
No, that's
reproductive systems.
Oh, that actually that could be a different one on there. Honestly, lifespan with it, I don't want that going down as fast on there too. I don't want to do the candle that burns twice as bright.
Actually, no. There's one other way to do that.
That's the perfect sports story.
Actually, there is another way of doing that,
true.
And that the problem with that is that it would be adding grafting new systems on it, like cybernetic systems on it, to increase speed or maneuverability or whatever. But the problem is they would be visibly noticeable, so you would have to figure out some way of camouflaging it or make them retractable so that you only use them when you don't think anybody's watching.
And this would be something of a pseudo-podomorph then, so...
it's just grafting cybernetic systems.
Okay. All right, so that would be...
Robocopying it.
Okay, so that could be...
To a degree.
All right, so yeah, basically general stability... it's like stabilizers that might be... I could deploy when I'm hidden behind a flare or something, so... All right,
or if somebody hacks the systems monitoring the race so that nobody sees you.
Okay, silly idea from this and this going through.
I still say cast for lifespan.
Yeah. If this idea doesn't work, then I'll do this. An extreme ablative shield that will allow me to go through a flare briefly. So it'll burn off. It's risky, but that could be a more impressive feat.
It's also going to probably hurt like hell because you're going through a flare.
True.
Let's see here. You would need a hardware armorer.
Okay. So could I get that?
Do that yourself?
True. So at least, or to create that.
And that would be a major favor to get someone to do that covertly for you.
So that could be a good research major favor. So
yeah.
If nothing else, we have design specs for an ablative shielding that could briefly resist a solar flare.
Well, if you do that, I mean, that technology does exist. Solar survival suits do exist.
Okay.
But the thing is, they only last in seconds during a flare.
Yeah.
So basically, if you make it whale size, though, you could basically use it to go on a shortcut through the race. That would give you a major advantage if you planned it out right. The problem is one not being detected, not being caught, which is obvious, and two, designing it, which means is a major favor for someone to do that and keep their mouth shut and not if you have that designed, you can't ever reveal it because then people would realize you used it to rig the race.
True.
So. I mean, maybe a year or two later on, but years later, but yeah.
After we've made all the money from that, then make money off of the story of breaking this and selling it.
Well, if you do that, again, people realize you're going to break the race.
That's true. So.
Yeah, so you can't really use it for that then. So it's a major favor to do that.
So,
but you can again, if you sacrifice something, you can get an advantage in speed.
Yeah. So, and the only reason I also do this is that dying's traumatic, by the way. So
sure.
Yes.
Okay, the morph is going to die. You're not going to.
You're going to have to be restored from backup because if your morph dies in the sun, they aren't retrieving your stack.
And also traumatic of having no.
I'm saying that we're going to off the
you're not gonna remember
after we get you out of it.
You're just going to wake up from backup,
and that's traumatic too.
Yeah. No. See, here's my thought. You don't die in the race itself. You die immediately after. And you don't die. The empty body does after we pull you out of it. And then we throw the body into the sun.
Who's throwing it into the sun?
Suryas are expensive. It's going to cut into your profit, or you're just basically stealing the morph, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could do that. You could walk away, just burn the morph, and nobody can find you. But, you're going to leave somebody holding the bag for that morph.
Exactly. I think I would prefer to at least...
But you're criminal, so that's kind of your thing.
Yeah, it is a bit of a thing, but I think I would prefer for the shielding, though, and to ask for the... I don't mind
give up,
the major...
reproductive ability in that particular morph. You don't need sexy bits if you're just a racer.
Or mental stability.
Or mental
You keep bringing that up, and that's not an option here.
Or just general safety.
Yeah. So,
you wouldn't want to experience, loving as a space whale? You could totally write a blog about that.
They're pretty open.
yeah. And anyways, but
There's no secrets in the Surya pod.
My.
Yeah.
actually,
Neil, was there anything you wanted to be doing? You could also be doing things like building up awareness of space whale racing to get more people wanting to bet on it.
That was something I had a thought of while you're engineering
The morph.
the morph and prepping for the race. I could make some connections in the area, get a film crew basically, and film a what I guess amounts to a training montage.
Okay.
And then hype that.
okay.
For Shamu? Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing is, if you do that, every like I said, every planet has its own sort of media culture. So you've already built up awareness on Venus because that's where Shamu is based. So there's a bit of people who are interested in his career and like Shamu's plans for space whale racing. Like, well, this sounds intriguing. I'll subscribe to that. I want to find out. So you build up a tiny bit of awareness. So you could target another system, or you could like try and raise like more people on Venus. So what do you like? Mars is obviously the biggest market because Mars has the most people, but people on the moon have deep wallets too. Yeah, basically Venus, the moon, and Mars are your biggest three markets, but Extropia is the fourth, and then the Titanium Commonwealth's the fifth. So.
Let's do Extropia. I think coming out here, part of the point of this was to stay out of Mars's orbit, so to speak.
Good point. Yeah. All right. What skill do you want to use to do that?
To build the hype.
Yeah.
I've got
I
personality.
mean, I would allow like knowledge sports. Obviously, would work. I'll give you a plus 20 bonus on that because it's super focused. Let's see here. If you have network, do you have media rep, F rep?
I have F rep. It's only
Okay.
30, but it's there.
You can make a roll on that as a minor favor or a moderate. You could do both actually. So.
I will do F rep first. At a moderate.
Can I assist on that? Because I also have FREP?
Sure, you get a plus 10 on your roll.
I can't flip that.
Okay.
That's a fail.
All right. You try, and nobody's interested in helping you out. You can still make your knowledge sports check at plus 20. Or you just, screw you, I'll make my own vlog series, essentially.
Blackjack and others.
Yeah.
We're doing it live. 43.
Is that a success?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Venus is at a 1, now Extropia is at a 1 in terms of awareness. They are aware of you, so there's a little... If you have the race, some people in Venus and Extropia will bet on you. Okay. And this is going to be a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the entire planet's at a fever pitch. It's the soul of the planet. Seabiscuit level, rumble in the jungle level. Like that's
Space croissant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and we're going to hit that, hopefully, after Shamu wins the first race, which is what we're pushing right now, is we're trying to get awareness of race number 1, so that when people see it and Shamu crushes the competition, race number 2 is going to be the one that everybody's going to be pitching in on. That's where you take the dive.
So basically the formula is every planet added together times intensity. Your intensity right now is 1. Having the first race will raise your intensity, so it's a multiplier for all the planets. So
all right. I think we can.
If we can raise the intensity on race number 1, that would be great, but that's mostly going to be a thing that we do locally.
Well, just having the race is going to be just raise intensity on its own because people have footage. Essentially, people will be like, "Oh shit, this is the thing. Oh, dude, So yeah.
All right. Well,
but certainly the more intense you make the race, the better it would go.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do the sacrifice of any kind of reproductive systems, just because we'll carry over the knowledge, the narrative that this is the penultimate Surya racer, and nobody will ever get their secrets unless especially since it falls.
Basically,
on the sun.
now this is you just designing it.
Yes.
You haven't gotten. You have to actually also make a check when you're there to actually make the modifications.
Okay,
so you're just first figuring out how to do it.
Okay,
because there's not like a YouTube tutorial how to make your space whale go faster, cut off its junk and put rockets in it. Like,
I just got balls to be quicker. Do it.
Basically,
yeah.
Put more muscles in there to make it faster.
We need to make that YouTube video now.
We don't, but
we don't really. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that again to 25, so I can.
Okay. Basic success,
yeah. Basic success.
All right, so once you get a Surya morph, then you can make another check to surgically modify it.
Okay, so and could that be a biotech one instead?
Sure.
Okay, so
once you get
there, so cool.
So yeah, so
I'll just sleeve into the thing. So
so you are going to be about 10% faster than a Surya, assuming you both make average skill checks.
Okay.
So if they get a critical or
with that, like what would those be? Just general like athletics checks, essentially. With
I would normally say free fall, but I'll allow athletics to.
Okay,
I'm going to be pretty generous.
Thank you.
I know.
Seriously,
I'm not the usual.
Honestly, I still think that should be one skill, but yeah, because anyways. So yeah, you could. It's definitely not free fall. There's definitely not a microgravity environment. It's a macrogravity environment, if anything. So, because the sun has gravity. Weird.
The big yellow one's the sun.
Yup. Main sequence. Blah, blah, blah. So, we use all kinds of words to make the sun seem harmless and safe. Average, middle-aged, dwarf, main sequence. Don't believe any of it, my little sentinels. It's a monster, a behemoth. It measures 1.4 million kilometers in diameter and masses more than everything else in our system combined. Our primary gravitational influence is felt light years away. Nothing is immune to its touch.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Here, let's hype the sun.
I'm having a Dragon Smoke, by the way. It's 11% bourbon barrel aged stout. I'm feeling good.
Dude, that's what you should. Let's hype the sun. It's like you think this sun sounds nice.
What? You're right. We should.
Yeah.
Let's up the danger just by pointing out it's in the freaking sun.
Sure. Who wants to do that?
Who's got the appropriate skill for that?
That's a good question.
Would it be persuade? Would it be physics?
Persuade and physics would add to it, but then somebody would have to make some sort of check to broadcast
Simul space design?
Simul space design, XP design. That's simul space, yeah. Have a simul space tour of the fucking sun.
Build it?
You assist me.
Yes. If you will build it, I will hide it.
Actually, everyone can contribute to this. Don't you have some art skills, Neil, or something? Or your sports would actually work on this, too.
Hello, I'm Professor Membrane, and I am here to tell you about the dangers of the fucking sun!
Yeah. No?
Yeah, sports.
Okay.
We'll do.
All right. I thought your character was like performance art or something. It's what.
It's kind of a hack.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that. Give me a sports with a +20 bonus again. Cause,
aren't we all?
Yeah.
That's a crit success. 44.
Yeah. Awesome. Give me a persuade check. You'll be the narrator. Does anybody have physics?
I do.
You don't have to.
Okay, so I got a 33 on my persuade.
Okay.
So that's a critical.
All right,
success.
so that's what you're doing. Are you contributing anything to the simul space? Or are you just going to help? What's your simul space design?
70.
What's yours?
80.
So you can assist him.
I'll assist you.
So you have a 90 in simul space. So go ahead and give me a roll. Roll it right now.
Do it now!
All right. 58 made it.
All right, yeah, with that...
that's a superior success, isn't
it? It is. I will, in fact, give you +1 intensity now. So right now you have 1 + 1 times 1. So,
1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
So yeah, you're at intensity 1. Good job. People are like, oh shit, the sun, it's fucking intense for space whale racing.
Yeah. I told him, we are master thieves. We were doing you ever think of the sun? Well, you fucking should.
Mm-hmm. So, and you brand it with Shamu's name on it, so people like Shamu's Space Whale Racing Simulator. So, yeah, you really suit for your work.
I would like to point out this lovely ice sculpture that we brought all the way from the ruins of Pluto.
Actually,
lasted half a second.
All 3 coronal habitats have to have ice asteroids brought in, heavily shielded, of course, and it's very dangerous. But they need water on regular intervals in order to, not fry. So, yeah, that's a dangerous thing. So, yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, let's find out what happens when the shielding's removed. It creates. It ejects the gas so fast it creates a comet.
Dude, this reminds me of those videos on YouTube. It's like, what happens when I throw this softball into an industrial shredder?
That's basically it.
It gets shredded. Dumb.
Yeah, but look at it.
So, all right. So you built up some hype on Extropian Venus. People are there. You have a small but dedicated audience now. You can forecast to Hooverman, Geist Checker, anytime you want, or you can keep on doing shit here.
I'm gonna go there maybe kind of just take the temperature of what's going on.
Okay, to forecast either cost 1 GP, or actually no. So one question you want to do is. Normally, when you forecast, you give up your old body to get a new body at the resonance, because obviously the salamanders and Suryas are fucking expensive. So you want your current bodies back because you're going to use them. So here's the thing: I'll allow all of you to take out a loan so that you get to keep your old bodies and sleeve into new bodies there. It's just if this is going to use some of your potential profit of your scam. So if it totally fails and you don't make any money, you're going to be out of bodies entirely or have to get like fucking case morphs or something. So like, or you can pay for your rented bodies on the sun up front. So what are you thinking?
How much GP would that be?
For to just buy a normal body?
Yeah.
To rent them for like a month would be 1 GP for a salamander or 5 for a Surya.
Okay. Well, our Surya is basically going to be built on site, so we're...
Well, I mean, they're not built, they're already there. They're grown.
Or modified, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to get at least one, obviously, so yeah.
Sorry, I'm double checking.
Your do we have?
You can also take out loans, or you could call in favors. Moderate will get you 3. And minor will get you 1 if you haven't used one to hype shit. So.
Oh, no, I remember. I got some gear points from that one of the jobs we did. I never spent them.
Okay, well.
So I have 6.
Okay, see, there you go.
I'm gonna prepay for a salamander.
Okay, that's 1.
All right.
And salamanders are always in stock on the sun because that's the main thing. So you'll just have to. Well, you have time to. You don't have to worry about integration checks because you're not like immediately getting up to act. You can take a day or 2 to like acclimate to your body.
Just for funsies, I want to see how I do.
Okay.
I've got enough to cover our Surya plus 2 salamanders because I had resources too.
Good point. Yeah.
So I will bankroll the Surya for you, salamander for me, salamander for you.
Okay.
So what's the integration rolls now?
Making me look up the rules.
And I can take care of my own salamander.
Jesus.
You're not. You're going to be the. You are Shad.
But I have to actually do the work first to modify it. Is the problem?
Well, you need the morph. You need the morph in order to modify it. So, like, you do need access to it.
Yeah, so I'll have to do that on site.
Yeah. So, resleeving. Here we go.
Well, while you're signing all the paperwork, I have an idea to build some more height.
Okay.
Oh, what's this hype idea? Do share.
Well, we're building
sometimes
reputation. We're building bias in favor of sharing.
-30 unless you have exotic morphology.
Now we need numbers to reinforce the bias.
Also,
stats.
I have adaptability.
Adaptability, yeah. That'll negate that.
And I'm thinking I can reprogram
22.
Some swarm bots to
crit.
Okay, yeah.
basically infiltrate the biology of
I just want to get right to work as soon as I get there.
And get all kinds of stats on them.
Yes, do that. Say that again for Ross.
Yes, sorry. Tom was talking at the same time, sorry.
By the way, I rolled 100 for mine.
Okay. Hold on. Well, take your time. So, Neil, yes.
I want to reprogram a swarm, a bunch of swarm bots. It doesn't say there's one that's explicitly like medical diagnostics or healing, but I want to engineer a kind of nanobot that will generate statistics on all kinds of bodily functions of the Surya that we can
do fine tuning.
Actually, more to build hype, to provide sports stats for the competitors.
It'll take 1 GP to get the swarm because obviously you'll have to acquire it when you're on Hoverman, the habitat, and then you'll need a programming check to program them to do that.
I can do both those things.
Okay, so
I'll do RREP first to gain the swarm.
Okay.
Another crit success.
Okay, yep. I'm not going to look up all... I would say any of the nano swarms can do that. That's programming to generate that kind of hype data.
Sure. And then a program check.
Mm-hmm. Striking Smoke is really good.
Mm-hmm. That's a 10 under 85, so yes.
All right, you got that. You have the data. Now... I would say you need sort of a sports announcer or a sports analyst to sort of talk about how the data...
Explain why our Surya is better than their Surya.
Yeah. So the fine-tuning you've been doing, performance enhancing. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are really into that. Yeah, instead of car guys, they have morph guys now. Like, yeah, you can be a project car as your body. I got this body, I got this splicer morph, and I've been sort of fine-tuning it ever since. You know, I've been doing a little bit of gene splice, a little bit of cybernetics, just work on it every Sunday. Future's weird, man. So, give me another sports check, plus 20, and Zemo.
We've got Space Joe Rogan. That's what we need. We need Space Joe Rogan to talk up the stats.
Well, you would make a persuade check to be that Space Joe Rogan if you want to.
Yes. Dear God, yes.
All right.
Damn it.
Can you flip it?
I can flip it.
Okay.
And I will.
All right. So give us, what does this blood pressure mean, Space Joe Rogan?
Well, the amazing thing about it is that if you look at the heart rate of the Surya racers, okay, even though it seems like it should be the other way around, the slower the heart rate, the higher the blood pressure, the less the heart has to pump, which means that 1 beat every minute is ideal for a racer. Now, we've got these racers over here that have 2 beats a minute, which is amazing. It's great. It's perfect physical fitness. But you look at this one that has 1 beat every 2 minutes. This one is in prime condition. His blood pressure is off the scale.
Yep. I love it. Your intensity goes up by 1. You're at intensity 2. So there's the people in Venus and Extropia are getting more hype about it.
Once you learn the way that the bodies work, you will see just what kind of well-oiled machines these are.
There's a couple of coffee shops where there's a bunch of space.
Who's got space
guys. Weed? Yeah. It's Extropia. They all have space weed, but they talk about their own theories. They're all experts at it now. So, but it's very small, but they're very dedicated. So they're willing to throw up some cryptocurrency, some Dogecoin on races in the near future. So good job.
Well, it'll be Podcoin at this point. So
yeah, Podcoin. Yeah, no. Well, there's a lot of cryptos. So. Everybody integrates. Everybody gets into a salamander except for Shamu.
Actually, he's still going to be in a salamander 2 for the moment because he's modifying Shamu.
Okay, yeah. So you need both. So you need 4. So you have 4 salamanders and 1 Surya. And you spent the gear point or the favors for it, or your resources. So very good. So you don't have to make integration checks, like I said. You have enough time. You're not really stressed out by that right now. It's weird. Salamanders, by the way, are weird-looking fuckers.
Yeah, I saw them. I look them up to remind myself.
It's not all about you, Tom.
To me, it is.
Some of us would like to see what we're actually in.
Yeah, no. Well, Tom saw it. I guess none of you can. All right.
No, you can never look at yourselves.
Yeah.
Describe it to us.
It is this. These are salamanders.
Ooh.
Close enough.
Yep. Salamanders are described on
vaguely reptilian. They're no hair, no mouths apparently.
They are unable to survive unprotected in the corona. They still need a survival solar suit or bioengineer to survive in the protected vacuums of coronal habitats. Thick, hairless, vaguely reptilian, mostly black in color. They communicate either via wireless transmissions or by sunspotting using their chromatophores to ship lights. Yeah.
Same thing as at the Octomorph.
Yep, sure, that's what I said. And your muses get software that tells you, oh, here's our color pattern translator. So I can do that now, I guess. Great. Super.
Excellent.
They lack reproductive organs and capabilities and feature cyberware gas jets on their chest and back for maneuverability in zero-G. Actually, Suryas also go in them whenever they need to do stuff in habitats or to talk with humans. So, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
And it says some of them have even taken to riding on the back of Suryas through the corona.
Well, only in solar survival suits.
I know, but
that's
like solar extreme sports.
For very short periods of time. Because solar survival suits, Anyways,
there's a lot of heat and radiation.
There is a lot of heat and radiation. So you're all in Hoverman, Geist Checker. There's about, like I said, 3 or 4,000 people there. 4,000. And there's space tourism. You spot a couple of Venusian and Extropian tourists who are there to check out the space whales. They're real interested in racing.
Now, I don't think you realize just how much heat and radiation we're actually talking about here. We are talking about the sun!
Yep. So,
would you like to take a look at this informative podcast that we've compiled?
Yeah, I'm already fit. Oh, that's you, dude. Let's do some space weed. So, SAIROC.
Okay.
Let's cut off your Surya's junk.
Let's do that. So, all right.
Ross, we said we were fixing the race.
All right, Bio, since I know how to do this,
By the way, this is literally the Robin Williams.
Get him, David, get some oxyplate. Yes.
Yeah, he has more testicle. He's aerodynamic.
Or that'd be Flex technically now, or
no, it's Moxie.
Okay,
I know what I said.
All right,
Moxie's the social one.
Oh, okay, so all right.
The big yellow one's the sun.
We're gonna try and keep up.
All right, biotech roll.
How much I like this Dragon's Milk.
There's a lot, isn't there?
There is not as much as I'd like.
That'd make it more interesting. But we got a 42 out of 80.
All right. Yep. You cut it out.
Okay.
You can put in more muscles to go faster.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in this.
No, so...
And things that don't exist.
Let's just say this is more adrenaline for literally speeding around.
I'm going to take professional...
you get some monster energy drink and just cram it right in there.
I'm going to start buying out
Does this look like Death Stranding?
It does. I mean, it might be. It's a Kojima game. There might be space whales in it.
Okay,
I don't know.
Aaron, you want to strap...
You can't say there's not.
Aaron, do you want to strap a baby space whale on your back? Or in the front?
No. Cut open, put an injector into the heart.
There you go.
So it's more like the Team Fortress to...
I don't think that would be a monster energy drink as much as that would be a NOS.
All right.
So if you want to do the initial race to hype up Shamu even further, you could also do more reach. You haven't touched Mars or the Moon.
We haven't touched the Moon yet?
You have not. You have not fondled the Moon.
I'm fondling the Moon.
How are you going to fondle the Moon?
How can I fondle the Moon?
So you have to calibrate your approach a little differently. So the Moon is intentionally held by a lot of reclaimers. People want to get back to Earth, go back to the old ways, because they can see the Earth every day when they look up. If they go to the surface, a lot of them are underground. But you get the idea. Also, the remnants of older Earth governments, that kind of thing. So you could,
Lawrence, I'm going to need a very specific simulspace for this. Mm-hmm. I would like for you to overlay the Kentucky Derby over this lunar track. Over this solar track.
Of course, I just look up what the fuck is the Kentucky.
All right, give me a research check. That was a good one.
27.
Yep. Yeah.
What the?
If you failed, you would have.
Okay, no. What the fuck is this?
If you failed, you would have pulled up the briefness.
What the fuck is this? Horse.
Huh. I'll tell you about those.
You've seen them in video games. They were real. Give me a will save.
Yeah, 51.
Oh god, that's fucking weird.
It's what did these things fucking do?
Yeah. Oh, they all had gravity. You're trying to picture a horse in zero gravity. It's wait, no, they never had to deal with that shit. And they're all dead now.
Lawrence, where's my XP?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me go pull it out of my ass.
Wait, you grew up on Earth. You should have known what horses are. Why don't you remember horses?
I don't remember if they were still around when I was on Earth.
Yeah, that's weird. Boy, you're... Yeah.
Wait, I was like, I don't remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons why you didn't make the little save.
And there's a divergent species that lives
All right,
in
give me your symbol space design.
All right.
Or no, actually, let's have SAIROC do it and you assist. So.
Okay.
90.
Yeah.
All right, 49.
All right. All right, yeah, that's by appealing to the Kentucky Derby and Old Earth sports. Good call. So you have the moon at 1.
Oh, dude, totally know the music to use. Chariots of Fire.
Okay, yeah, you researched it. Yeah, you got good music.
Okay, that much. I dig Old Earth movies.
Hey, Evangelist is huge on the sun.
I don't think he is.
You're wrong.
Evangelist is the foundation for all future music.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's a vapor.
It's a dark
in
future.
In my headcanon, Eclipse is very, very into vaporwave. Which
of course it is, right?
I can deal with it.
Like, you know what? When I get rich and have my restaurant, I'm going to own my own horse.
We're not going to have a solid reach to Mars.
Mars is hypercorporate, so you know Mars pretty well, so it'd actually be pretty easy for you. I'll let you choose. What would be a good appeal to Mars? To the Martian people of New Shanghai, because, you know...
The sun, an untapped market.
Solar Rangers.
Fucking beat those space hippie whales. Fuck them.
It is somewhat hypercorpy there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very Blade Runner.
Okay, so I'm going to set up the Martian video as a pitch for venture capitalists.
Okay.
To see that this is
an ultimate tourist market.
No, it's a new business paradigm is what it is.
The sun, your new place to gentrify. Let's gentrify the sun.
Would you like to take a look at this first Martian station? Would you like to notice what it is completely lacking? If you said that there is not a Queequeg coffee in sight, you're right.
All right, Yep, that's true. Give me a persuade check.
28 out of 80.
Now located on
do we need to make another symbol space commercial?
Give me another.
Hey, you and me again. We're the multimedia team.
Yeah, Queequags, right off the plasma eddy.
Yep.
All right, almost a critical success, but that still makes 65.
All right, yep. So you got Mars at 1 too. So you got 4 markets right now that all have their own little minor space whale fandoms.
Let's go for the Jovians. At least it's far away from us.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I know.
I could almost sell would you like to see a bunch of horrible non-human monsters, making fools of themselves for a fruitless search of
you have been censored by the Jovian media censors.
I think we could sell it to Europa.
I mean, you could, I guess, if you want. At this time, you spent like a month doing all.
Or have the Outer Rim. We can.
You could do one for the autonomists.
Yeah, I guess we could do hey, you know that thing you can only barely see on the best of...
I'll just do one for the autonomous market. So, give me another... What's your pitch?
You want to know the freest place where you can possibly be?
Okay.
The middle of the sun. Mm-hmm. The place where nobody can touch you.
Oh, no.
One of these.
Not the center of the sun. That would be 600 million degrees Kelvin.
No. Not the center of the sun, the center of the solar sea.
There you go.
Okay. Swimming through the corona.
Give me a persuade check. Okay.
Persuade first.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the...
that's a crit fail. That's 88.
Stars are
destination. Do you want to negate that crit failure?
I think I will with that free moxie that I just got.
Yep. All right. So
stars are destination. Fuck you.
Basically. So you could spend more time doing that, but if you spend time... I mean, there is... you can try one more time to appeal to the autonomous, but after that, you're going to have to move on or escalate.
So let's try one more. Okay, no, let's re-record that. Okay, that was a bad script. That was a bad script.
Yeah, it was a horrible script. We're going to go instead for, hey, do you know what freedom tastes like?
Mm-hmm.
Freedom tastes like Corona. Not this one. This one.
Dude, an image of a hollow of the sun with a light.
Nobody knows what a Corona
with
is.
With an orange wedge in it.
That would be a lime. And that's a 39, so that's a success.
All right, give me your spell.
Now it's a sunny delight.
90.
Yeah, it's a sunny delight now.
Oh. They don't know what it is either. They don't know what brands are.
Odd 7 made it.
All right, so you've got basic awareness in 5 markets now. So
it doesn't have to make sense. It just
in
has
order
be
to
catchy.
increase reach in one market, you'll have to do more than just put out XPs. So you could just multiply all of them by going on the first race. So like you did all the easy stuff now. Like
We set up the groundwork.
yeah, you said the basic groundwork. So this would be a pretty good haul. So you have 5 markets times 2. That's 10. That's 10 profit, which would be enough to pay off all your favors and get you all
Back to Mars.
Basically 2G. Well, let's see here, 2.5 GP in profit each, essentially. So So you can stay that and start, or you could like do the one race, but you need another racer to do your test race, or you could do the big race. So
how are we going to get a hold of our others? We need the Surians to actually be involved in this.
Or fake that. You can try and fake it, but yeah, that is a good question. How are you going to do that? Do any you have that Zeno empathy?
I
thing?
do.
All right.
And
How does that work?
That's just a free one. So, where was it? I can use savvy checks to gain understanding of non-terrestrial entities. So,
I would say you could use that to understand Surya. So yeah, you give me a savvy times 3.
all right.
Nice.
Grab that.
Nice.
It's the first time that's happened in quite a while.
Is it?
It has. Mm-hmm. Good the hell. So,
Oh, you know what helps with me
All right.
on that?
I have to re-roll that
use
anyway,
my
so-
easy roller dice tray, and
So-
it catches the dice when I roll them.
all right. But look, good thing I have Moxie.
Okay. You can't reroll.
Oh, flip
You
it.
can flip it.
I can flip. No, there. So that wouldn't have worked
All
anyway.
right.
So.
You know what you know.
Sorry.
Space whales aren't alien enough for you yet.
I guess not.
So you can call in favors. You could do generic research checks to get an idea, or you could actually talk to the whales.
I'll do some research.
Yeah, let's start with research and then move on to talk to the whales once I've got the right talking points.
Yeah, there's one called there's a whale, Roar of the Abyss is his rough English translation of the whale song. That is his name, and he is open to talk to tourists like yourselves.
Okay.
So yeah.
So give me the basic research and then I will go talk to him.
So
I
If
got
you would,
an,
please.
yeah.
I got an op 4 on research.
All right, so you get information on the Surya. What question are you specifically trying to answer? So I mean, in general, you could see one. Maybe you could just get one Surya who's kind of an asshole and an outcast, and he'd be more willing to work with you and be a mercenary. Or 2, how do you deal with them as a pod, as a culture? Like
Yes, that's what I would like to know. What makes them tick? What is their motivation?
Well, Nils want to make the check. So what do you want to answer? No.
I want to know how we can get a foot in the door, how we can appeal to them culturally and make that connection.
Okay.
So they don't immediately hate us all.
Sure. Like I said, the Suryas are sort of an open nomadic society. They're very interested in audio art and also into uplift rights. So if you were to demonstrate your commitment to those, you could. You could also just spend time among them, but you don't really have time. So,
Can I get Surya music samples?
sure. You made your research check. You have Surya music samples.
Okay. Can I attempt to create new Surya music as a gift?
You could.
That is a great idea. I was about to suggest the same thing.
So, what do you want to use for that?
Well, some
Music.
for funk.
Knowledge
You-
music.
Yes. Done. Wow. Yeah. No, with
Yeah, some esoteric skills.
Very applicable skills for this.
It's like you were born to do this.
That's the joy of
He
having
wasn't born. He was programmed.
the joy of having a full block of knowledge skills.
Yep.
Uh,
I'll give you plus 10.
What's
your-
It's a crit fail. Missed it by 4.
Do you want to negate that crit failure?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Even with the plus 10 bonus?
Even plus 10, I had it at base 30, bumped up to 40, I rolled a 44.
And if we could bump it up a little bit more, if there was a way that we could...
All right. So, yeah, you accidentally made...
Great Kenny G.
No. Wow. I was going to say some...
Excellent war game.
Yeah, it's... You make some doom metal. Sludge. So,
Or it's like, one day the sun will go, the sun will expand and explode.
basically. And so you didn't quite get the frequencies right. So if you call in a favor, you could get somebody to help you and make another attempt. Like a minor favor.
F-rep.
Yep.
Yeah.
you know a musician.
That would be perfect for it.
Probably would with knowledge 30 and that.
This is not this particular measure is not working.
That's not a crit fail, but it's a fail.
All right. Well,
Nope, I can't.
okay. So yeah, music's not going to work.
Nobody knows how to talk to these people.
So you, in terms of ways of introducing yourselves, obviously you could just bribe them because they may be nomads and post-com, blah, 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 but resources are always good.
I can call in a resource through our rep on the Argonauts to see how they're interacting with them.
Okay, sure. The big favor, if you want, someone wants to call in a major favor, you could dedicate an ice asteroid to call in and have an ice asteroid delivered to the habitat that they frequent, Uko.
You said a major habit? Or
Yeah.
a major favor?
Yep.
I've got one.
Yep.
And actually, this is absolutely perfect for it because it's my corporate.
Yeah, because those ice asteroids are extremely important to keep the habitat running, and they're extremely expensive and hard to get there.
Okay.
So,
And that's an odd 8 on the calling in the favor.
all right. Yep.
So, what
So,
was the name you gave us for this one? It's Voice from the Depths?
Roar of the Abyss. So, Roar of the Abyss messages you. Are you doing this under your name or under Shamu's name? Zemo?
Actually, because this is... I can't do this under Zemo.
Well-
I mean, none of this under Zemo because we don't want it to come back.
Right.
But the name that I am using here is going to be as the hype person for Shamu, which means I am ShamWow.
ShamWow, of course. So, ShamWow.
You'll love my nuts.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
It's a total sham.
We are honored that you would aid strangers such as us.
It is my pleasure and my honor, but it is also my desire to not remain a stranger. Perhaps we could meet and discuss the future.
Yes, I'm at your habitat. I can sleeve into a salamander and meet with you directly.
Oh, you don't need to do that. Why don't I meet with you where you are?
I suppose the sun outside the habitat is quite dangerous, but you can borrow a solar survival suit.
Indeed.
If you wish.
It would be very disrespectful for me to make you come to me when I can just as easily come to you.
I offered. It's not rude, but if you whatever, you're the one who did us the favor. So you.
I wish to approach you from the highest of possible respects.
Okay, give me a persuade check.
More like I'm like he's laying it on. I'm just blending into the crowd here. By
66 out of 80.
Okay, he is very, very eager to please you. He's like, yes, very well. Sham. By the way, if Shamu's already sleeved into Surya, we're having an orgy tomorrow. He is welcome to, or she, or they. I don't want to assume is welcome to join. It's just polite. We're very open.
As much as...
I need to put this out.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't want to assume, though. If they're uncomfortable with that, I don't want to insult. Please. Oh, I hope I did not insult you.
Oh,
I
you
forget
did
that many of you have hang-ups about that sort of thing.
Shamu is currently busy training.
Oh, okay. Sublimating urges, I see.
Exactly. To the point where... How familiar are you with old Earth culture?
Not very.
This would be the equivalent of a deep state of meditation and preparation for the race.
Oh. What? There's a race?
Well, there will be.
Oh.
And that is what I am hoping that I can convince.
All right, give me your free fall check or athletic. Give me to not fuck up. You're going out in the sun.
I make 14 out of 45.
All right, yeah, you're on that space whale in a solar survival suit. Your muse is like, who's your muse again?
My muse is Winston.
What's the butler kind of thing?
Yes.
So, Are you sure you wish to be outside on the sun? Even though you have the proper gear, if you make one mistake, you will fall into the sun.
It's necessary. It's a necessary risk.
As you wish. So you're on Roar of the Abyss, and he's it's a big space whale, like on the cover of Sunward. Space whale.
I would like to go on the record as saying that I have chosen to ride the space whale for a moment.
You have. You're kind of taking a little drift around the habitat, so he's giving you a little tour of the area. It is relatively calm. There's no flares or coronal mass ejections.
It's like, you see that sunspot? I love that sunspot.
It's a good sunspot.
That is a wonderful sunspot.
Not that sunspot. That sunspot is shit. I hate that sunspot.
It's like, it can go fuck itself.
I fucking hate that sunspot.
Now, Roar of the Abyss.
Yeah.
I understand that in addition to the orgies, the great people of the Surya tribes really do love to race.
It's occasionally, yes. It's not our main focus. We've heard that apparently some of you we've fielded many questions recently about racing. It's kind of perplexing, but we certainly have been known to race. It is a thing we have done. It is not unheard of. It is in fact possible in the future. It is certainly within the realm of expected behaviors.
Well,
close
what
to
I would
maybe.
like to suggest, if I may, that ice asteroid that came in the other day.
Yes, that's why I wanted to thank you, because you gave us that ice asteroid. That is very appreciated.
Would you like more of them?
Yes.
Do you know a very easy way to get more of them to just keep coming in?
No.
Let me tell you, I have a
Research.
I have a plan.
Wait, do we have to do detailed research of the sun?
No.
Taking mini readings.
No.
Oh. Okay.
But you can if you want to.
Oh.
I was going to say the easiest way to do this is if we just find one sponsor who will get you an ice asteroid per race. All it takes is one pod doing one race every, call it once a year. You'll get the ice asteroid to come in. Now, how often do you...
What's a sponsor? I'm not sure. Is this a capitalism? We don't like the capitalisms here.
Oh, this isn't a capitalism.
It's not a capital. It sounds like a capitalism.
Roar of the Abyss.
Yes.
One's been doctored.
It's a socialism disguised as a capitalism.
Okay, I'm going to have to... Well, I can't really...
Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain the disguise first so you understand it.
Sure.
See, if they were just going to hand you money units for your race units, then it would be a capitalism. But since what they're giving you is goods instead that you need, that you would like, that are going to be useful for you, that makes it a socialism instead. But if you do it to the point of luxury, then it's different. But if you do it to the point of necessity only, and you can continue to live your lives without the need of them, then it's actually a communism. But it would be a communism in the best way possible. See, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to improve your lives with the least amount of effort necessary on your part. So you can do the things that you love.
Lenin!
Yeah, okay. Give me a persuasion check.
99% of the time. And it's 51 out of 80.
Okay. Well, I can't speak for the entire pod because I am but one whale. But I will take your proposal to our leader, Mariana's Dame Judy Dench. So now I have to warn you, she spent quite a bit of time among humans disguised as a human, and she hates the capitalisms. And
I love the way this whale talks, by the way.
she will want to throw you into the sun if you're trying to trick her.
Well, Roar of the Abyss, I really only want to create a situation where your pod benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps I benefit a little on the side. But I really want to create the situation where your pod benefits.
Okay, so out of character, you were just doing one race. You're talking about doing a race every year now? Are you trying to set up like a regular business or something?
Kind of, sort of. Because here's my thought.
Yeah.
We fix the first 2 races.
Yeah.
Like Shamu wins the first one and then takes the dive on the second.
Yeah.
But if we do this to where they get the ice asteroids that help them out...
Sure.
We're helping the economy of the sun, but we're also setting up future races for later. And it's entirely possible that we don't have to fix any more races. If we set up the races itself, we set up the booking house.
Give me... You can... you can all give me research checks on that.
Nope.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is my research?
It'll be out of there.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Second from the bottom.
Yeah.
And, yeah, no, fail.
Okay, so Nil, after Zemo explained the plan to you, you realize, you look this up, one, the whales are, dedicated socialist, post-scarcity economy, blah, 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 blah. So there's no way they would willingly agree to this. Like, you can't make any skill check to make them want this. So you would either have to trick them or intimidate them into that. 2, if you did this, it would do some kind of long-term structural damage to their culture. Like, you're introducing gambling and capitalistic exploitation into, again, a post-scarcity culture. So, but conversely, if you make this, like, you set up the casino on their lands, boy, you could make a lot of money for a long time if you actually pulled this off.
I'm actually feeling a little icky here now.
Yeah, no, like, well, you are criminals, so
but I'm not.
It's about exploiting people for profit.
Well, I'm not an asshole. I'm a criminal, but I'm not an asshole.
So you could do the one-time scan and make a quick buck and get away. But yeah, Zemo is right. You would make a lot more money in the long term if you set this up as a thing. But 2,
well,
the practical obstacle is you would have to trick them or intimidate them into doing this for you.
Now that I have thumbs right now,
yeah,
I'm going to give that a thumbs down.
Okay, well, that's up to you as a group. No. So doing the one and done scam is almost certainly not going to damage them as a culture because they like what?
And if something goes wrong, it's probably
fad.
less better that they'll be able to track.
But if you do it every year, like what will happen is eventually competition will try and muscle in and take some of the market. Competition will lead because it's totally unregulated because again it's a post-scarcity it's sort of a socialist autonomous culture. You start getting.
It's going to be a lot of legwork to set up. It's going to be a lot of legwork to maintain our hold on the.
Yeah, it's Las Vegas.
And our focus is on Mars.
Yeah.
So here's my thought. We pitch the idea knowing that they will say no, and we follow up with, you're right, that would be bad.
Okay.
Why don't we do this one time?
Ask for more than you really want, and then compromise on what you want. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
we'll use this as our compromise option.
Okay, sure. You can do that.
But still talk about the fact that we will still throw them a couple of bones, because if they're willing to go through with it for a couple of races, then we will make sure that we're going to make sure they're taken care of.
Okay. Well, that is certainly a thing you can do. I am just getting another drink because I am an adult.
Are you?
I am.
Technically.
Shut up.
Now, Ross, I do have to ask, are you driving home after this?
I'm not driving home. I'm going to walk home.
Well, all right then.
In the rain.
Which is a bit of a misnomer.
Right? Yep. It's fine.
I saw nothing.
Anyways, space whales. That's a thing.
We actually use the fridge.
No.
Now I'm just going to get tap water again.
So,
Toasty jamming.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, all right. So, if you want to do, which is a good negotiation tactic. So, give me 2 negotiations: one to make your fake pitch, and then one to make your real pitch. Okay. Both of them will be at base because War for the Abyss is introducing you.
Okay, so I make the first one 79 out of 80. And on the second one, I rolled 70 out of 80.
Okay. So they...
Superior success is all.
So Marianas Dame Judy Dench, or Marianas Dench, if you will. Get it? Okay.
I caught it.
Okay. So reluctantly agrees to your terms if it's a one-off thing, and they get one more ice asteroid out at the end.
Of course.
Which will cut into your profit a little bit, but yeah.
You know, because I like you so much, I'm going to make sure we get you the biggest possible ice asteroid that we can out of this year's batch.
The artisanal ice asteroid, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, handcrafted, right? From millions of years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the last time this was liquid was never.
All right. Yeah, billions of years ago.
Never ice.
We pulled this from Saturn.
Carl Sagan.
Really fucking far away.
Actually, Carl Sagan brand, like billions and billions of years ago, this was formed.
All right, Roar of the Abyss will be your, you'll need 2 whales then. So, because you promised them an extra ice asteroid, they will actually give you 2 whales. I will, actually give you, let's see here, let's see here. They will actually increase it on 2 markets, your hype, by talking about this. I will say probably Venus, because she's there. So that's 2. And then let's say Extropia. So,
Actually, can I sweeten the pitch just a little bit to Dame Judy?
Sure.
And since you're going to be letting us have a couple of whales to race, are you seeking more whales? Are you seeking more people to join the pods? Or are you seeking more... What do you want?
The ice is enough. We don't need...
Peace on the sun and goodwill towards whales.
I am... This is... I feel like I have to focus more on safety, risk management, than trying potential profit or whatever. You've made a good pitch, and you've been...
Well, I don't want to look at just profit, monetary profit. What kind of public opinion do you want?
None. We just want them to leave us alone.
I can spin it that way, too.
After you're done with the racing, that would be nice. Like, we will play our part... Or Roar will play.
I think we could arrange this through then, and then make sure that interest dries up after this moment. Yeah, we make our money, and we're not going to.
If you just leave, like if you're the ones spending all this time to focus and hype this. Like once you stop doing that, like no one's going to pick up the mantle and do it for you because you're in a hyper capitalist inner system.
Yeah. So let's make sure that
you're doing this because you're going to make profit out of it, or you hope you will.
So yeah, let's make sure that the interest completely dries up when we're done.
Yeah, if you just stop doing it, it'll probably do that. I mean, it's a very competitive market in terms of like, hey, look at this! Hey, look at this! Hey, look at this! So yeah,
if we're gonna establish our own casino, it's going to be on a much better market area.
85th season of The Mandalorian is going to come out. I mean, like people are real interested in that. So like, this is just they're just killing dead time and the XFL.
I guess
it's coming back.
So I guess the baby Yoda is now a teenager.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Going through those hormonal 200 years.
He is. Him and Will Smith are going to co-star. Will Smith, he forked himself to be a teenager again.
That guy, I tell you, that guy is an actor.
He is.
So it's the crossover Gemini Mandalorian.
Yep. Yeah. Bringing it all back.
I like that one too.
Yep, they're going to go through every episode. It's going to be a different Will Smith movie. It's going to be 305 episodes.
And Nick Nolte,
all after Earth.
And Nick Nolte's just still alive somehow.
Well, Jaden Smith became a Titan, so we don't talk about that.
That's the only reason.
Because his dad got him the Titan formatting for his birthday.
Basically, yep. Millions.
Like, thanks, Dad. It's like, we're not.
He was trying to figure out if our eyes are real.
This is when they use the game word to blame Jaden Smith for millions of deaths.
Basically. Anyway, so you got the one Surya pod on your side. So they'll provide War of the Abyss. Now, do you want to do the thing where, like, They race the first time, and then you want to do a rematch, or do you want to try and get a different Surya?
Actually, yes. Let's do it as a rematch.
Okay. All right. So, all of you can give me kinesics checks, or if you have media.
I've got a 74 on the kinesics.
That's a fail.
Could I possibly do my Zeno check?
Yeah, sure.
Everything again?
Yep.
All right.
So you made
74 out of 80, yes.
okay.
Nope.
Okay.
35 out of 55.
Okay. So you realize you're gonna have to cope. Yep. All right. You're gonna need to coach Roar because he's gonna have to give some interviews. One, you're gonna have to do 2 interviews at least. One before the first race and one before the second race. And really create a narrative. So what kind of narrative do you want to really get him you've already built up Shamu as I am the ultimate racing bot. I shall race. I am programmed to be best. And typical. Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy narrative. But what's Roar of the Abyss's narrative? What's his story arc?
So, Roar, what are the things about Shamu that make you not so happy?
Who is Shamu?
Thank you. That's good. We're going to start there. You have no idea who he is.
Nope.
He's somebody that is just coming in and muscling in on your turf, and then after you lose...
What turf? I don't believe in turf. We're nomads. We don't believe in ownership of the land or the sun.
Okay, so he's beating you in this race, and you're not happy that he beat you in the race.
Oh,
And
I'm
the
not?
reason why he's... Part of the reason why you're less than happy that he's...
Wait, you can see the future?
Well, he's a dedicated racing bot. He's
Wow.
probably going to beat you this first time out.
That's very interesting.
I can see your failure.
What? Are you Shamu?
No.
Shamu, go away. Too soon. Too soon.
I am the racer.
Hello, Shamu. Are you a friend?
So, I'm a friend to your racing.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is.
I'm happy.
I look forward to your defeat.
Oh, that's interesting.
But good competitive sportsmanship.
What's that?
Friendliness?
Oh, I like friendliness.
I do too.
Yay! Do you want to go to the orgy with me?
I must train.
Oh, right, the sublimation.
Sublimation of all desires.
Yes.
That's right.
So you realize you need some work. He doesn't talk like an athlete at all. So you're either going to use deception to manipulate him into saying what you want him to say, or you could persuade him to act and pretend to be the kind of racer that would generate media interest in the inner system.
Okay.
So do you want to manipulate him, or do you want to teach him how to act?
Let's try teaching him how to act.
So that's persuade. All right. So if you make that, you'll succeed. But you tell me, how are you? Okay, is that a critical?
77 out of 80.
Okay. So what role are you training him to be in? When you tell him it's an acting game, he's like, "Oh, I like acting. That's fun."
Okay.
Here's Rowdy Piper. Go.
Mm-hmm.
So here is your story.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, not so long ago, there was a space whale who wanted to be the fastest, who wanted to ride the waves of the sun and be faster than all of the other space whales. Why? Because it feels good to go fast.
It does.
And you love the feel of being the fastest out there, because when the sun is sliding across your belly, it makes you feel better than almost anything else in this entire universe.
Except the orgies, but...
Except the orgies.
Yes.
But we're not going to talk about that in front of the media because...
Oh.
Well, we might.
Well, no, observation is consent, so they may not consent, so that would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, talk about just how riding across the sun is better than sex.
Okay.
And just how you love to race.
Yes, we often put on plays. We often put on stories for each other as we're sailing through there.
Yes, and that's what I want you to talk up is the love of it. I want you to talk about the love of the race, the love of the game, more than anything else.
Sure.
And that is going to paint you in a wonderful light as far as this race is concerned, because they're going to look at you and they're going to say, he loves to go fast, and he's young, but he's a natural talent. That's what I want you to come across as, is a natural talent.
Okay.
The whale who goes fast for the sake of going fast, but not because you like to compete, just because you love the speed.
Oh, okay. I could do that. Yes, that makes more sense now.
And that also makes him the absolute underdog.
Sure.
Because everybody is going to hear the underdog story and they're going to go, oh, that poor thing. He's definitely going to lose.
All right. So that is true. But the thing is, then how do you pitch the rematch? If he loses the first time, then it's not really interesting to watch him lose the second time, which everybody would think of. So something would have to change between the first and the second race.
I got that.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to pull from a little bit of history on this one.
Okay.
Do you know what they said about Secretariat as far as racing went? Because the big three races for the Kentucky Derby, there are two of them that are shorter than the longest one. And they said that they said that Secretariat, he was a sprinter, but he didn't have the long haul. And so he wasn't going to win the last race because it was a long race. And then they found out, oh shit, this one's not just a sprinter, this one's a marathoner too. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do that's how we're going to spin race number 2 is race number 1 is going to be either a shorter race or it's going to be a steeplechase.
Okay.
You know, a case of...
All right. You're changing how the race is being conducted.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be 2 different races, but it's not going to be point A to point B the same way both times. One way is going to either be, go through all of these sunspots, weave around these coronas, and the second one is just straight shot it, or vice versa. And I'm actually thinking vice versa, because I think that our story is going to be that Sham who is going to fly a little bit too close to the sun.
Okay. All right. So you announce the date. You have him do these interviews. He plays in character quite well. Once you explain it, he's pretending and it's acting. And you realize he kind of assumes everybody thinks he's acting. He thinks that, that this is all a play that you're putting on, essentially, because he knows what plays are, because they do that, apparently. So he's still, you realize you also have no idea what your real goal is here to, rig a race for exploiting sports betting. And I am going to do the Space Joe Rogan thing for both sides. Oh, sure.
Because it's only fair to get both interviews in.
Yeah.
And I am sincerely hoping that Sham decides to do that same I must race good.
Do you have Persuade? Or Intimidate?
I have Deceive.
Deceive is real good for talking to the media.
Yeah.
So give me Deceive.
All right.
Maybe plus 10 because you're playing it.
Okay, so that was nice because that would have been I would have had to flip that, so that's 73 out of 80.
Yeah. Yep. So everybody play. It's pitch perfect media presentation. So the first race is done without betting, or at least you're not manipulating the betting at all, because the whole point is to only manipulate one race and make one huge payday, because that means there's less chance for people to realize what you're up to. So
yes.
So all that means is for you to actually do your part and to beat the pants off of him. Now, Roar of the Abyss is in on it, so that's good, but you still actually have to do your part.
Yes.
Which means you actually have to do some space whaling racing.
I do.
So,
all right.
First give me will times 3, because you just have to disable so many safety. Like, don't go under the sun, you idiot. It's incredibly dangerous.
Definitely flipping that. So
okay, yep.
Okay, so it succeeded.
Because this Surya is not equipped with emergency forecaster, and that's the only way you could be saved if something goes wrong. And you also done some illegal. Well, some aftermarket modifications to that.
It's okay.
You're itchy in places.
No, well, unfortunately, can't scratch either, too.
Yep,
so that's
exactly. But you made your save.
Need to make nanobots for that.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead. There are nanobots all you to give better stats to the audience, so they can. So that like Nil and Zemo could be the hype man and analyst talking about the whale race. So yeah.
Speaking of sports details, how far in advance do they figure out where the track is?
You can determine that. I mean, basically, there's no official space whale race, so you're making this all up from scratch. So you can like do it on the fly. You could announce it a week in advance. More than a week in advance would be possible because of the shifting solar geography.
I just wonder if I could get the map far enough in advance that I could give you an assist by using like perceive or my sports knowledge to
Sure.
plan the race, figure out the right corner, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other use for that map
Yeah.
is that you can turn around and take that map.
Is there a
and-
navigate skill?
No.
Pilot space.
Pilot space actually I'd allow that. Yeah, give me a pilot space check.
All right. Sweet.
Do you want to allow?
Nope. It's a fail.
It's yeah.
All right. Sorry, did you make it?
I did not.
Okay. Well, you can't really think of it. It's not a critical failure, though.
No. So I'll just have
That
to
would be funny.
I'll just have to be careful in this one too.
Yep.
But as we're going through, I can make him our friend Roar zig where he should zag, probably.
You could.
So not obviously fatal, but just
you're supposed to beat him. Are you telling him this is a rigged race, or are you telling him this is a play and he should lose, right?
I'm telling him that this is a play and he should do his best.
Wait, so what does the script say? Do I win or lose this race?
The script says that you win the second race by a lot, but the first race you lose by a little.
Okay, I can do that.
okay. So he's already in this, so I don't really even need to.
No, you still actually need to do the race thing.
Okay.
Because you've never
That'll
done
make it
this
look
before.
So
You're in a space whale body flying over the sun. That's fucking hard, it turns out. So...
could I attempt... actually, let me see if that...
So these
I'm going to try my Xeno empathy one more time. Just try
this
it.
is not Xeno empathy. I'll give you a Grok check.
Oh my god.
Cog times 3.
Grok is not good.
Yeah. Grok's great.
All right, let's go with Grok and try to understand my own
Grok.
my own modified body. Which I don't.
All right.
I know what I know.
That's a cone.
Give me 3 athletics checks. If you fail any of them, it's going to suck.
Is it? Do I get any bonuses for the being in the morph itself, or
For what?
for the athletic checks? Do I get any bonuses for being in the morph itself? Or?
It lets you do them.
Okay, so all right,
Like, you have the tools to do them.
all right.
It's easy. It's just like that time I rescued those asteroid miners, except in front of the sun.
Let's see if this works.
Yep.
So,
The modifications basically means you're not doing it at a penalty.
yeah,
Because Roy the Abyss has been doing this his whole life, or for years.
yeah.
You haven't.
So I made the first one.
Okay?
So.
You're doing it! It's like playing Star Fox, only if you fail, you die horribly.
Yeah, this is why I wanted the
What-
shielding.
What's your athletics?
So 50.
Mine's 80.
Yep.
So that's fine. I was also doing the lie because I thought I'd have to be tricking these guys into it. So
Could have put a Ghost Rider module, and you could just lie, and then he could pilot.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's for the next race.
Then we'll have fun with this. So all right, next one. Yeah, that's a failure. So
Okay.
can't flip it. So
So Surya morphs have a lot of durability.
yeah,
They have a lot of durability. Unfortunately, you know what the sun can do?
burn.
A lot. It can burn.
this one.
It can burn a lot. Do you know how much it can burn? All of it.
Yeah.
So they normally have 100 durability. So we'll just see. Let's see here. So 8, 16, 20, 25. You take 25 damage as you singe yourself because you're like, you skirt something a little outside your expected environmental protection ratings.
Okay, who else has a persuade?
So you're
Not me.
You didn't even take a wound. You're fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So Ross,
Yeah.
while this is going on, I'm going to have Nil in the box with me, commentating, and we are going to spin this as though that is exactly what he intended.
Oh yeah, no. I love it.
Or that'd be persuade or deceive.
I don't give a shit.
I have deceive. Can I help you?
Yeah,
with
no, give it. Yeah, no. What's your sports announcer persona then? Lawrence.
So I've got Space Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and he's the analyst, obviously. Nil's the guy with the stats and the facts, like whoever that guy is. Are you the Joe Madden?
Yeah, I'm the
John Madden. Yeah.
John Madden. Yeah.
So you're going to be drawing on
Shut
everything
up.
with a space marker, going boom.
Talisker. It's Scotch.
Right, but I'll be attempting to just kind of make stuff up.
Yeah. Nope. Do it.
The idea is to look good doing it.
Oh, sure.
That is 68.
Is that a success?
It is.
Ooh.
And it looks like Shamu is taking a dangerous shortcut by flying way too close to the sun. Look at the way that he just dove through that corona as if it was nothing. That sunspot just popped up right in front of him, and he didn't slow down even one tiny
Well, I
bit.
can tell you this is definitely not this is not an Icarus gambit. There's no such thing as flying too close to the sun with this maneuver. It's like you got to do that if you want to catch the solar wind like he's doing right now. It's like, look at that. Like he's like, he got a little singe, but I think it's going to pay off in the long run.
Oh, that is a lot of pain all at once, but he does not seem to care one bit. How many of those can he take before he falls to pieces?
Well, if these
3 more. Then he's dead.
Technically 0.
Or you could lie. You could just make it up. I don't care.
if this data is accurate, he's looking at 2 more of those tops before he burns out.
Ooh. Getting a lot of retweets for that. It's hot, quite literally. All right, so that was your second check. You failed, so you got one more check to make.
All right. Oh, that kind of. All right, that is technical fail, but I can actually flip that one with my stack. So
Huzzah!
You got some flex for that?
I have a vigor.
Okay.
So-
Ooh. I should the Surya would have 5 points of vigor or something. Whatever. I don't care.
I'll take that to heart. Thank you.
Nope.
You already said it. You're good. We're
Yeah.
Surya 5 vigor. Thank you, big creatures.
So
I end up
you
skidding near
you
towards-
realize Roar of the Abyss is way better at this. You are slightly faster than he is, but he's been doing it for years and years and years, and is also a whale uplift, and so has a brain that is better at this than you could ever be at, unless you do a lot of psychosurgery on yourself. So what the fuck are you doing? Give me another will save.
Okay, so
You're so in out of your depth.
new experiences are good for me. So in the case, 58 out of 75.
Yeah, no, new experiences are good for you.
So although I
if
do
you
it to
survive long enough,
which I did at least once, so I'm taking a little bit of a barrel roll around him and then spinning
Do a barrel
forward.
roll.
Yep. So it's a photo finish. Well, I mean, not quite, but you do win. It's very close. It's exactly as you engineered it, and it generates a lot of buzz because it's you set up a lot of satellites and things to observe it from a distance, so people could watch. You upload XP from both racers, so people could experience it in the second it's over, because that kind of thing. So good job. Your intensity goes up by 1. You're at intensity 3 now.
What I would like to do as well is have the 3 of us in that whole ESPN booth, but tailor it to each of those regions.
Oh, sure. All right.
And do that on the XP. So that's going to be 5 different roles for the 3 of us.
I mean, you don't have to make the rolls. That's what you have to do just to keep your current level of hype. So in order to increase your hype for a given market, you'll have to do something more than just media coverage. So that would be like getting a celebrity, which would be a favor. I would say a couple celebrities are on the habitat, and you can make persuade checks to get them, but if you fail, you're going
Work to get around.
Yeah. So you announce, obviously, pretty soon afterwards that there's going to be a rematch because Roar. What is Roar's motivation to want a rematch? Well, Roar's like, should I? So we're having a second race. So what is my what? I mean, you can't give me the script. What is my motivation at this point?
Your motivation at this point is proving that a real whale is better than a fake whale.
Oh. But that's hurtful to AGIs. But I understand if I'm a villain in this play, I don't want to be. Can I send him a message? I don't want to make him feel sad.
Oh, don't worry. You're not going to make him feel sad.
I feel sadness.
He does not feel
No!
sad.
I have pain that nobody can describe, and winning is the only cure.
Oh. Shamu, I don't feel bad. Can we end the play now?
No, we can't.
Oh.
We can't
The
possibly...
play must go on. I must play my part to be fulfilled.
Oh.
Thank you for your
I
service.
feel sad for that little AGI.
Roar.
Yes? Oh.
Shamu, I believe...
He does a
that
very sad, mournful whale song.
Shamu, I
Sam,
believe
what-
that the doctor needs to see you to see about all of that singeing. Maybe we can get some medicines and bots in you over there.
I already have
Out
a
of
cocktail.
Out of range of this kind. Roar, why don't you and I go this way, away from...
Oh, but he's sad.
No.
I can
I will
cuddle
let
with him.
machines do their work and remain
do
quiet
you want
and
to cuddle?
pain.
Do you want to cuddle?
I am
Are
fine.
you sure?
Emotions are for the weak.
No, emotions are for the strong.
That is-
Emotions are good.
That is what they taught me on Venus.
Shamu, you're killing the rainforest.
Rainforests are already dead, like everything else on Earth.
Tacnet,
Yeah.
you're killing it. Stop. Stop trying to help. Go away. Let me see if I can salvage this.
Oh,
I'm in
poor
pain.
guy.
You will deal with this.
I know I'm going to deal with this.
Yes.
Don't
I
make
mean-
it harder. Don't cut our own purse.
All
This
right,
isn't
I
cutting
mean,
our throat. This is cutting our purse.
yeah, Roar will do whatever you want. He's just not. He's just wants you to be. He's just a nice guy. He's just a nice whale, space whale. So, yeah, what is his motivation?
Your motivation in this one is proving that the natural whales are better than the engineered ones. That no matter
Okay.
what kind of simul space we put Shamu through, his experiences can't hold a candle to yours.
Okay.
Just as proof that mechanically, when he went through that sunspot, he was hurting himself to win, whereas you gracefully went around it. And he cannot possibly take a course like that, which is why we're going to be shooting for a course along these lines on the next one and show him what it's going to look like with all of the sunspots and the...
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Like this particular route here will be far more interesting.
You realize in order to keep the same level of hype and momentum, you have to basically make it long enough that whoever is Shamu would have to make 9 athletic checks instead of 3.
Okay.
So,
I was going to ask right now, just in case, since I through the first race, would I have had the basic moves down?
it's still going to be dangerous. Like
Okay.
you're going to have to make 9 athletic checks. Because of the modifications, you do it without
Can I
penalty.
tag that in and just kind of maybe?
Well, you do have time to install a Ghost Rider module so that one of you can talk and then one of you make the athletic
Wait a
checks.
second. So
Because I'm actually quite good at both free falling and athletics.
let me see.
So
that
you
one
could
thing.
choose. So you could choose to do that. But the other thing that pops up pretty soon after that, you announce the rematch. Roar does his part and announces, this kind of thing. He kind of improvs it. He says, "Well, I hate AGIs and those fake racers with their fake technology. Only a true whale can truly pilot this, and I will redeem the honor of all space whales and all Surya by defeating them in a true extreme race that is so long that one of us could truly die if we're so bad. And that is my wager on my life as a Surya." It's very uncharacteristic. No space whales ever talked like that publicly before, and it generates a lot of interest. So you're keeping the momentum going. The scam's working. Everyone's like, ooh.
He's putting the honor of all Surya on this race.
all the honor, not just some of it, all of it. It's,
Not just a little bit of honor.
Yep, it's all of it. So the problem is pretty soon after that, you get a message. From someone who just says, "Hi, my name's Dominic, and I want to cut."
A cut of what?
I know you're faking this. I know this is all bullshit. I want to cut, or I tell everybody you're faking this.
Okay, team, we've got a problem.
It is coming from the habitat.
And a darkness fell.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
we're discuss
Aaron,
words.
Dave, we're here.
Can we? Okay, he wants a cut.
So let's track him down and kill him.
Well, you're on a nice nano-socialist tourist habitat. Well, not quite tourist, but there's a lot of tourism here. You're basically in a nice town, Scandinavian, but on the sun. How do you murder somebody?
Well, I can kill them. That's fine, but
Well, without getting caught.
yeah, there's the rub.
Mm.
Well, first why don't we try to track this guy down?
Okay, you can give me
Infosec.
infosec. Yeah.
Okay. That is an 80.
All right, that beats their 40. So you get their mesh address, and you get that they are sleeved into a salamander.
I imagine everyone is.
Not everybody, but most. There are some. There you can actually have synth morphs that are adapted and make mods to them to make that. So there's a couple of synth. There's a good number of synth morphs on the station, a couple hundred at least. And you can actually adapt some biomorphs for this too. But yeah, Salamander's the one that you don't have to make checks.
Tell you what, hey, keep him on the line. I'm gonna see if I can actually visually track him down.
All right.
No, there's actually he's in a public area.
I know, but I mean, I want to get eyes on him.
You want to get your own eyes on him.
Yeah.
Okay. It's basically a space coffee nutrient bar. So you just you don't have coffee per se because the sun is a little hot, but you get like little nutrient packets that have. If you inject them into you get the sensation of having coffee.
Like delish.
Yeah, like stim patches, but coffee.
I've been looking into those like right now, and
They actually get you put the stim patch on and you taste hazelnut. It's crazy.
I kind of want that. Like now. I want that now.
Sure, you can have a career too. I send a little drone. There's a little.
No, I mean
In
at
real
the
life.
table.
Oh, here in
at the
reality.
table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want that now. Damn it, Ross.
I'm sorry. Future technology.
But I will try to keep him. I will keep
Flavor
him on the line.
patches.
Okay, so
I'll put the flavor countries.
Just so I can get get my eyes on him.
Yeah. All right. You get
Okay,
there.
so
Are you
let's-
trying to hide from him?
Yes.
All right. Give me infiltration.
So what kind of a cut are we?
100.
talking here?
100 is yeah, it's correct. Yep. You're in his blind spot. He's there. He's slapped on some French vanilla patches on. One right on his nips. So
what kind of a cut are we talking?
I'll be nice. I guess 10%. 10% you tell me how you did it and give me all your account logins when you're done. I'm guessing you're all doing this as a one-time, do this scam and get the fuck out. I can just take over for you, set this up as a regular thing, do a whole Space Whale racing circuit, bring in some of my own racers, make it a whole, make it a whole thing, make it a whole scene. Yeah.
Can I physically ID him now?
Yep.
Can I actually just find out who he is?
Well, you are located the morph that this ego is in. So you can give me
Another infosec check?
Yeah, he is got a fake ID. You can tell that much. I am the Scandinavian equivalent of John Smith. I am a tourist from the Titanian Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Obviously fake. So you can give me another infosec check. It'd actually take you a while to do that.
63.
I assume in order to do that silently, that'll take you an hour. So you need to be talking to him for a while. So we're not going to roleplay an hour conversation. But you can
deceive him while I'm getting all of the gory details and the brass tacks.
Well, you just, it's like that, that scene with Robert De Niro and like Al Pacino in Heat, where they're at a coffee shop and talking, and they're just talking. Great ass! Yeah. And so you can do that. Like, basically, lead them on.
We're not so different, you and I.
Exactly.
55 out of 80.
Okay, yeah. So you talk for an hour, easily, giving you time to do the hack.
I'm at another table watching. It's like, just strategic position so I can see him, but he can't see me.
Okay,
and enjoying like some local brew myself.
So you get access to some of his real account IDs, so you know what the IDs of this person are. You can give me do you have any knowledge relating to criminality or criminals or black markets? Or?
How about I just call in a favor?
I have black markets, so if you want to feed the information.
Yeah. If you make a black market check, you would instantly know who he is. Or you can call him favors, but that would take time.
Right.
11, critical success.
Oh, yeah, you know who this asshole is. He is a con artist who is also really good at kinesics, which is how he makes his money. He is actually kind of a consultant. He goes... someone give me a good criminal... space.
Empath Jones.
Empath Jones. He's Empath Jones. Thank you. So Empath Jones is his whole thing is he understands how other criminals works, and then he tries to exploit them, which is a real dangerous game. But he either targets criminals who can't really retaliate them because they're independent crews, or they're doing so dangerous things that they don't know who he is. And so.
Actually, at this point, I'm gonna just once I got that.
Mm-hmm. So this is about an hour of you talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zemo, what have you been talking about, just in general?
Well, just basically spitting through,
talking without talking.
Yeah, talking without talking. Talking about the dangers involved in trying to keep the scam going for too long, and why it's not going to work for sustainability.
Okay. So
and then as soon as I know, got his real ID. Sending it to you now.
And then, aside, fucking SAIROC knows who that asshole is. You've actually probably talked with an 11. You could have known him. With 11, actually, you could have leverage over him.
Oh, okay. So in this case, I actually know him from the 9 Lives days. He's actually another escapee at one point. So if
got the goods on him.
Oh, specifically right now, we can. I can let him know that we can send.
Actually, you know what? I'll do you one better. All right, so yeah, he's an escapee from 9 Lives, and 9 Lives is based on a nearby coronal habitat, A10, which I did mention earlier, but that isn't again. So you could actually tell 9 Lives, and they could come and get his ass. So if you're willing to let this dude who is a scumbag be dragged off by 9 Lives and invite a 9 Lives fucking enforcer to come onto this habitat, problem solved.
But I don't want to. But also that goes against my fact that I don't want to turn anybody into 9 Lives.
Yeah, no, they are kind of dicks.
Deception roll to basically make him believe that we'll pull this trigger if he makes.
Now he's really good at kinesics, so he has a really good chance of.
Well, actually, here's the thing.
Knowing that you're not.
Actually, you and I, we could just sit at the table with him, and then David can do the threatening.
So.
Yeah, but again, the one thing you do know is he's really good at kinesics.
So I'm really good at lying too. So that's
what's your deception?
70.
What's your deception?
80.
So I could assist him, and then
you could.
Could I assist him as well?
Well, if you assist him, you're not really focused on anything else.
Yeah, you're on the hack side. So
well, I mean, if you want to be there to be do you have intimidate?
And I can help over attack.
Do you have anything? Any relevant social skills?
Is intimidate actually a
I've got
thing?
kinesics. We're not really persuading.
Yes.
We're trying to strong arm him.
Wait, is that an actual skill?
Oh no,
I don't see intimidate on here.
Oh, sorry. Is that not?
I guess that's more just a persuade. I guess. Or
okay, sorry. I thought that that was a skill in the first edition.
It's not here.
So.
Provoke, maybe.
Provoke. That's it. That's what it's called now. Provoke is the fight me or fuck me, basically. So
I've got provoke at 80 as well.
Yep. So if nobody else has provoke, someone's going to have to provoke them into being scared of you, and then somebody's going to have to make a deception check but you can't do both checks.
Okay, well I have deceive at 80.
Okay, so you deceive, I provoke.
Yeah. How about you and me? We'll sit down.
Well, I'm not going to be able to sit down.
Yeah, he's in the circle.
Oh, that's right. So
actually, you could have a fork in the salamander because you do have a salamander.
No forks.
Okay.
fair enough.
Okay. It'd take you an hour to sleeve into the salamander. So.
No forks.
All right.
So essentially, I was talking. I'm just gonna just sit down at the table with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey.
All right.
Well, Dominic, or should I call you Empath Jones?
All right. Give me that provoke.
That is a 60.
Okay. That is a 31. So, I assume, threaten him that you're going to give him up to 9 lives unless he gets the fuck out.
Let me explain how this 10% is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 10% chance that I won't call the next habitat over.
Okay.
And sell your ass out.
Give me a deceive check.
I want you to understand
78.
that while we do hold you in the highest regard, you fuck us, we fuck you.
All right, so
You don't fuck us and you fuck off. We forget that you were here.
all right, he believes your threat. So how are you going to seal the deal? Like, what is your lie?
I'm trying to piggyback off of what you're saying.
Yeah. So you could tell him leave, and we won't, and that'll be the end of it.
And you could continue to try to do the things that you're doing.
You wanted to see us tell him like there's no profit in future things.
No, actually, I have an idea. It's like we're going that. It's like once he's done, like it's like done the shit your pants thing. Mm-hmm. Like just kind of lean in, like this is a good brew. So
where do you slap it on? Where do you slap the patch on? Because they're stem patches. You slap them. You don't drink them.
I know. That's what I mean. It's a good brew. I think this one's.
You just put it on your shoulder.
I think this one's vanilla, French vanilla.
Like just a pedestrian, just put it on your shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, like for
nips. That's the best place.
Fuck yeah.
They're sensitive.
It's like just so. Like
what?
Like
don't shake your head.
It's like listen.
This is good.
Like there's no profit.
My kings are not yours, Ross.
It's like I know you did. You thought you came in here. Thought you smelled some good old profit. Mm-hmm. But you got your thoughts muddled up here. There's no profit here.
All right.
But I do admire your balls, even though we currently don't have any. Mm-hmm. So you ignore this one, and maybe there's a job down the line that's far more profitable than this one.
Ooh, that's a good lie. All right.
It's like you clearly have skills. Mm-hmm. And I think in the future there may come a time we could use those skills for something real.
And he believes you.
Allow me to reintroduce ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Stick. This is Carrot.
Okay. With that, he leaves, and he will not. You're pretty sure he will not try and reestablish Space Whale racing on the sun. So.
Thing is, I was actually serious about the last part. Mm-hmm. Like someone that good at reading people, I think we could use him sometime.
Yeah, he's like that asshole with that show about reading people, whatever that one is.
You're going to have to be more specific because
the one where the whole thing is like he's really good at reading body language.
Mind Freak.
Yeah, Mind Freak or whatever. Yeah. He's that guy.
Well, there's Mind Freak, Mentalist, Psych.
Mentalist.
So yeah.
Oh, and shit, what was the other one? There's like 5.
It's Mentalist, all right? It's Mentalist.
Yeah, so I'm a serious
but he's a criminal.
Yeah, but like now that I know who he really is, like keep an ear out for me. We may contact you in the future.
Okay. He believes you. He forecasts out. So you don't have to worry about competition anymore.
Just like even though this morph agent doesn't have nips, that is the place to put that thing. I tell you. I've never been in one of these things, but I'm thinking I like it. Okay, yeah, he's
the
gone.
Sumatran's not bad.
It's like, so he's gone.
How you doing there? How you doing there, Rick? All right. Good. All right. So you've dealt with the competition. You've done an adequate job hyping the next race, but it's 9 athletic checks.
Okay.
And you take 5d10 for every failed athletics check.
So could we get bonuses for him on a Ghost Rider module directing me?
Well, he would be the one making the checks. That would be the best way to do it because he has an athletics of 80. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, so basically just have him directing me.
No, he would be controlling the body. You would be in the Ghost Rider module.
Okay.
So because you could talk from the Ghost Rider module, you can do all the social skill checks, and he can make all the physical checks.
That's fine. So.
Yeah. I mean that's one way of doing it. You can come up with other solutions too.
The only other one I would have is implant skill. But that's me putting back a skill.
Yeah, you could aftermarket modify more shit. You realize actually, give me another morph design check.
Okay. So I was actually talking about this one, but
I'm sorry, what?
That was you're right. I could have.
I don't know what you were pointing at.
There's actually an async skill that allows me to do that, but it's basically giving one of mine to somebody else. Somebody else.
Okay, yeah.
And that's I was trying to think like, how can I take his skill? But no option for that.
There's no option.
Yeah, I'll do more design for aftermarket. So let's see. Gonna go ahead and flip that.
Okay.
So with my flex.
Yeah, you get more ideas on how to aftermarket yourself.
Okay.
Basically. The mental stability stuff is looking good. So basically, you would be, in terms of game mechanics, you'd make another will times 3 save when you start the race. if you make these modifications, but you get a +10 on athletic checks, or give him +10 on.
What's your athletics?
But if you make that, both of you are going to have to make the will times 3 saves.
Yeah.
Because basically putting both of because you're in this body and some of your brain chemistry is fucked up and you're all getting weird mixed signals and it's like...
Yeah, I'll just go into the Ghost Rider module for the moment. So.
Okay, so you install the Ghost Rider module. That's fine. And then you load yourself in that and now you're loaded. Give me your integration check.
That's the
SOM.
SOM. 6. Yeah, that's 53.
And
is that a success?
Yeah, I have a 60.
And I'm going to take a will chest because I'm going into...
Wait, what's your SOM? What's your base SOM?
It's 20.
So
times 3 is 60.
Yeah.
And since I'm going out of a biomorph, I am going to go ahead and make a will test because I'm not used... I'm technically an influence.
Yeah, being a Ghost Rider module kind of sucks.
Well, it's just because I'm not
You're
used...
an async, too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not used to that even with my operation. But that's a 16, so I'm fine. So
Okay.
Odd. Feels odd, but I'm not panicking.
I'm kind of like, whoa, this is different.
So give me another deception check to hype yourself up before race 2.
Okay.
This is just to stay in character, essentially.
Yeah. Let's see, 52 out of 70. Yes.
The bones
ready. It's like, you have not seen the last of us. It's like, we will run rings around the sun.
Well, not the entire sun. It's very big.
I am confident of my abilities.
Metaphorically. So
I do not know what metaphors are.
Nil, is there anything you want to do to sweeten the pot or increase reach or... make the race more. You could research the course to try and give SAIROC another advantage on the race.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
because you failed that the first time, but you could try again.
Between the two of them, I think that they're going to be good for the race. I think you and I need to hype it up more to get. We need that purse to be bigger because it's the only one we're going to snatch.
Yeah, but if our payday bursts into flames,
it's 9 athletics checks that you have to make. Because you do have to you didn't rig a bunch of satellites to fake the signal to just fake you being out there at all. Because all this is going to be observed by satellite essentially. Because you can't broadcast while you're in the sun itself because there's too much radiation. So you basically, people are going to watch this from fucking satellite feeds. So if you hacked a bunch of satellites, you could have faked the entire thing, but that would be really hard to do. In fact, this is less skill checks to do. It's just, if you fail these skill checks...
I've got to put this out there, and forgive me for sounding the callous dog here, but there's 2 ways that this is going to go down at this point. They are going to either succeed and tank the race at the last minute, or they're going to go down in flames, and Roar of the Abyss is going to win by default. Now... we don't want that second one, but if that second one happens, we still get the payday. We need to hype this up.
Yeah, Roar.
You guys focus on not dying. We'll focus on making you guys look amazing while you not die.
Roar has a skill of 98%. So, yeah.
Yeah, Roar is not going to go down in flames.
Yeah, he's fine. So... you could focus on making it safer for them to actually fucking survive the course, or you could try and increase your potential profit. Because right now, you got the basic profit. You're all going to make your favors back. You're all going to get a couple of GP of gear, and you're going to pay back all the money you've spent on this thing so far. So you make some profit, but it's not like an extraordinary amount.
But we made some contacts.
You made some contacts, and you made some money, and you made some res points.
And also, the heat will die down on Mars.
The heat will die down. This is taking you months, by the way. So yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Yep. So Nil, what's your concern? Do you want to make more profit, or do you want to make it safer for your buddies? What would Nil do? What would Nil be? What would Nil's priorities be?
I have 2 thoughts. My first idea is to do another reading of the course. This time using perception, because I have the ego ability as spatial visualization. So a better 3D reading of the course. See if I can find any and easier route, any shortcuts. The other idea I had was research on solar phenomena. See if based on solar cycles. Are there any events that are scheduled to happen in the race area that SAIROC
There are
event.
basically weather
You know
charts
what?
for the sun, but they're very complex to read. So yeah, you need a research check to read these charts.
And
So
I
yeah,
think I'll do the research.
okay.
Yeah, if you do that one, that actually covers both of the things at the same time. It'll be safer because we'll be able to predict it, but we can also use that as hype because that will show up in the middle of the race.
Well, you would do that, but that's just keeping the current momentum up because again, you're fighting an upstream battle. Like there's so many other things grabbing people's attentions. You have to do a lot just to keep your same level of interest. In order to increase your interest, like I said, you have to go above and beyond simple skill checks. You have to either put yourself at risk or put money at risk, or something like that. Yep.
I will flip that into a superior success of 38.
Okay, so with a 38, I will say you get a plus 10 to 3 of the 9 skill checks. You can determine which one. You just have to say before you make them.
Okay.
Because you got a superior, so that increases it back up. So it's
All right.
plus 1. So that'll help you for some of the course. So
Gentlemen,
if
start your engines.
If you have any insight, you could take an extra. Do you have insight?
By default, no, and I
Okay.
don't know what the salamander has. That's
That's
salamander.
Let me see. This is in first ed stats, but I think I can translate. If it has bonuses to COG or something like that, it would do that. It does not. It has bonuses to coordination and intuition, so
Yeah.
moxie and vigor.
Because I don't have anything
I'll look
intrinsic
at
to my
Surya.
ego other than flex.
Yes, Suryas have like 2 vigor. I would give them. So Tom, you have 2 vigor. Now.
Okay.
Actually, now I'll give you 3 vigor. They big boys.
Fair enough.
They're thick.
Do we heal any of that damage, by the way?
What? Yeah, you're fully healed.
So he gets the 3, but you were bitching when I asked for the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been
You're a
nice
good
to him
friend,
all
Ross.
night.
I am a great friend.
Toes.
I am. Yeah.
All right, well, gentlemen,
Do you want some scotch here? Okay.
gentlemen, start your engines.
Scotchy. Goes in my belly.
Literally, in your case.
Here it goes, down to my belly.
This is scotch now. I worked my way up. I leveled up. So yeah, if you don't, salamanders do not have any insight. So sorry.
Fair enough.
They have bonuses to vigor and moxie. Actually, just vigor. Yeah, they have bonuses to coordinate. No, intuition. So moxie too. So yeah, Zemo. Actually, I would say if you had any gear points up there, you get an implant that gives you a bonus to insight, and then you could you get mental speed, and then you could take an additional research action because your mind is so fast. Do you have any gear points you want to sacrifice?
I don't know how many gear points we had from the last job, if we had any.
I said at the end of the adventure. Yeah.
Assume you have at
I'm
least
sure I
one.
wrote it down and I don't remember.
Okay.
I
if
can
you-
call in a favor too, though.
Yeah, you could call in a favor. I would allow you to do that to gain some sort of advantage. While you're thinking about that, Zemo, what do you want to do before the race to increase hype or make it safer for your buddy to get through? Buddies.
I think we know what David wants to do.
I do want to increase the hype as much as I possibly
Okay.
can, but beyond
Intensity
the
would
skill
be
check-
the only way. Give me a COG times 3 roll. I'll give you some ideas to increase intensity, which is a multiplier.
Yes, that's a make.
Okay. The only way you could see increasing intensity at this point, because you already got the man, whale versus machine, classic tale, told many times, story. But if you sent a Surya through, if you convince Mariana Stench to have one of the whales be wounded by going through the same racing track to make it seem extra dangerous, that would do that. But that's going to be like a -40 persuade check to convince Mariana Stench to have a whale get fucking burned on this track in order to do that. Because if you have a crippled whale come limping back into the habitat saying this it's too dangerous, you can't do it, but no, we're going to race anyway. So that would increase intensity. But again, one, you'd all have to make a will save because you're fucking having a whale. Also, you're asking a whale to take a dive. It may kind of fuck up and get itself killed.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
So that's one way you could do that. You have to be very operatic, very dramatic to really increase the space. The other thing is maybe stage a fight between 2 fans and have someone get killed, or at least their salamander morph get destroyed.
That I can do.
Okay. Like, someone's gonna have to die to get crippled.
And make it a tourist.
Well, actually, a salamander would have to die, like get shanked.
Like, make it a tourist.
Okay, so I've got contacts at 3. I'm basically gonna. Well, can I call in a favor for that?
You can get one. Mariano Stench would get a fork to be one of the fighters if they're the one killing someone else. So you need somebody to basically play the jobber. If this is wrestling, this is the kayfabe. You need someone to play the heel and talk shit to whales, and then the whales fucking shank them. Because remember, whales will sleeve into salamander morphs in the habitat. So basically...
Okay, I've got one of those.
So you need someone to play the heel and be willing to get stabbed to death.
I've actually got somebody for that.
Okay, who is it?
I'm going to call one of the guys from the water cooler. One of the...
Oh, one of your hypercorp degenerates? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hey,
What's their name?
we're going to call him... Shit.
Someone else can suggest a name. What's the name of, like... Is this, like... What is their motivation? Is this, like, mercenary? Or is this, like, oh, I want the experience of being stabbed to death by a whale. It sounds decadent.
Actually, you know what? That would not be a corporate as much as that would be...
No, it would be a super rich corporate
that would
person
be
who doesn't have to work.
Francois Alabaster.
Francois Alabaster. Ooh, I like Francois Alabaster.
Okay.
That sounds like
Francois is a venture capitalist, fucking lots of money, thinks it's good for, like, synergizing, I don't know. Solutions. Thank you. It's an Elon Musk kind of asshole.
Yeah. I picture him as speaking like hedonism bot all the time.
Oh, sure. Yes. So give me a persuade check at base. Convince Alabaster to come over here.
That is a 55 out of 80.
Okay, so you already have the spare salamander morph, because remember, SAIROC had both.
Yeah.
So you just give him that one.
Hey, Alabaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you've got that bucket list with a bunch of experiences that you...
Yes.
How close are you to finally beating Elon? Because I know Elon's got a lot of them ticked off that you're nowhere near.
Well, I'm pretty convinced that person who says is Elon is actually a fake, or actually a Titan in disguise. I've got theories.
Yes,
but
I know, but do you have actionable items on your list, though, Don?
well, there is that. I would like an up close and personal encounter with a space whale.
As a matter of fact, I can get you one of those.
Can you?
I can make it even better than that.
Oh.
How would you like to get shanked by a space whale?
Only if I can do some shanking in return. It's okay if I'm the one who dies, but I want to at least stab them once or twice.
Well,
I want to make it painful and bloody for everyone.
we'll give you a love.
I want to traumatize witnesses. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think we can
I want to
traumatize
fracas.
witnesses
I want it to be shameful.
a bit. We can do that.
Yes.
Hey, Dame
Guys,
Judy.
XP a purge on infinite loop.
So
We got a guy who wants to get stabbed to death, but he also wants to do some stabbing in return. Do you have anybody who has been looking for the sensation of pain? Because they haven't felt it in
Mariana's
a very long
Dench likes stabbing people, it turns out. She actually has deep-seated grudges against humans. So,
Let me tell you about this guy. Here is his profile.
yep, no, I want to murder him. I want to murder him.
Are you taking collateral damage in this?
Yep.
Okay.
He wants it to be something that is grotesque for other people to watch. So, would you like to murder him in the goriest fashion possible? Here's a folding chair. I want you to snap the folding chair in half.
All right. So,
You
Francois
both win.
Alabaster forecasts in. He immediately covers his entire salamander body with stim patches. He's experiencing all the flavors at once. He's like, yes, I'm ready to die. Please recover my cortical stack. And when you point out who he needs to talk shit at, he fucking has a fucking soliloquy of shit talking.
Neil,
To
make
put-
sure you're recording this from every angle.
Oh, sure.
I mean, just someone there like a tear that then sizzles away.
How dare you, degenerate whales, impugn the AGI? We shall always beat you at anything you can do. Fuck you.
Space a message comes from, this man does not represent me.
Yeah. It does. He does now. No, you have to play it up. You're the heel now.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. I am independent.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a very conflicted media narrative, but there's just blood everywhere. They have to close it down and like get nanobots to clean everything. It's just horrific.
So is she like that? That was good.
It was, but she did get stabbed a couple times in return. She's not real happy about it. She's like, God damn, it's better. Fucking the things I do for fucking nice asteroids. The truth. You just, some days you got to get stabbed by a crazy rich asshole in order to get ice asteroids.
But you do get to kill the guy.
I mean, but you get stabbed a lot.
Well,
Yeah. So.
Okay, so.
Yeah, that raises your intensity by 1.
So, gentlemen,
we'll take it.
Start your engines now.
Let's see. So everybody's done shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've sleeved into the whale. You've given it some test runs. You've got some ice enemies on the course. So all that's left.
So it's you and me, bud.
Yep,
we're a team.
You gave your speech before your pre-speech interview or your pre-race interviews. They do a whole kind of like the equivalent of weigh-in.
Blood on the streets,
like
blood in the sun.
2 whales facing each other for the weigh-in. I don't know. You whale in.
Yeah.
It's the sun.
It's like gravity weigh-in.
Yeah, sure. It's a mass equivalency. I don't know.
There's physics involved.
Yeah, there's a dude. There's stuff going on.
And there's like
before this was a fight about honor, and now this is a fight about blood. There's been bloodshed over this whole thing. This is going to be the race to end all space whale races.
Yep. And some people are calling it bears on a boat too, slaughter in the water. That doesn't make sense, but memes are weird in the future. So,
someone's like, the white whale.
Yeah. A lot of Moby Dick references going on. So
thanks, Melville.
This race is also sponsored by Queequegs.
Yeah. It's time to race. And Roar of the Abyss will be watching you, and he'll take a dive, but you kind of need to not eat shit on this course, because you're on the sun, and this is really dangerous, and you need to make a will times 3 save.
Actually, no, you guys
34.
don't need to take the dive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys need to take the dive.
That's right.
But
you need to make it close. You have to get at least to the 8th leg.
Yeah.
All right, so that's right.
34.
Roar will win. But because you bet everything, did you be risky or did you be safe? Did you cover the bet so that even if you lose, you won't lose any money, or do you put it all on Roar?
We're putting it all on Roar.
All right,
agreed.
Good.
So he's helping me.
Yep.
All right, just let's do this.
All right, so you're watching him pilot things, and you're telling them no, go here, go. Adjust 3.2 degrees.
It's like move your tail,
No,
I have a tail now.
It's like playing, that Star Fox thing where you're going through the rings, and it's really
pilot,
but you have
with lava.
But you can't have it.
Lava,
at this point you can't. But I have no control over it. It's like
you're backseat piloting.
Yeah.
Oh God, Ross, I'm good at pilot wings.
Well, is your character good at pilot?
Let's find out.
Yeah, make your roll.
First one.
Yep. Let me know. You get 3 plus
11.
10. Okay.
Critical success.
Doesn't give you any bonuses on this.
But
It's really
start
cool.
strong.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 on the moon. The moon admires that.
I made a cool move.
You did. The moon people like that.
Thanks, moon people.
What's the technical of it? Give us a narration, Greg.
Yeah, this is just a role-playing thing. All right. Yeah, if you want to give some speaker talk. All right, so that's 1.
Okay,
Yep.
Number 1. Number 2. 58.
All right. Is that a success? All right, good.
And it appears that Roar of the Abyss is soaring majestically over that obstacle, as if it wasn't there at all. On the other hand, it looks like Shamu cut it a little bit closer, but it's actually allowing Shamu to make up a lot of time.
All right, give me a check.
Number 3. 94. I do have one I can flip. 49.
Right. Mm-hmm. That is good.
Actually, you have at least 3 vigor.
Yeah, so that's 1.
Yep.
Oh, it was a little touch and go there, but he's coming through.
All right.
All right. That was number 3. Number 4. 24.
Okay.
All right. Number 5. Critical fail. I'm going to spend a point to make it a regular fail.
Okay. And then you take... Yeah, it would have been 10d10 damage if you
I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I'd be flying off.
So that is 13 plus 6, 19, 24, 24 plus 8, 32 damage. So you take a wound. So you get -10 on everything now.
You probably shouldn't do that again.
Yeah, it hurts when you go fast. You're going faster than Suryas are supposed to go.
Alright, so that was 5, right?
Mm-hmm. You're at 5. You have 4 left.
Number 6.
Look, it's like you can't make sharp turns. Please don't do
Okay,
that
so this
again.
is number 6.
Yep, you're at -10 now. Unless you want to use, you have 3 plus
15.
10. Okay.
So that's number 6.
Yep.
Number 7.
Use the plus 10?
Now I'm going to use one of the plus 10s.
All right, so you get to negate wounds for the remaining tricks. Yeah.
Spend 1 to flip that to 79.
All right, so you're at 7. You have 2 more to go.
Number 8. 44 critical.
Okay. We'll say Mars is really impressed by that.
All right, and number 9. 16. I will actually spend my last one. I want to make at least a really awesome finish that's still like a second place finish.
Okay. All right.
Spend my last
So
one.
it's going to be a photo finish.
A blowhole finish.
But Roar of the Abyss is actually going to win this one by a fluke.
Yep. It's an amazing race. Everyone was sure Roar was going to win. Well, actually not. Actually, it was pretty up in the air. You didn't make it super one-sided, but you bet so much on
Roar.
Yeah. You bet you basically you rigged the bet. You did it.
Yeah, we hyped the hell out of Shamu.
So it was 9. You got 9 total units from all your 5 markets times an intensity modifier 4, so it's total 36. 36. So now you all got basically your favors back, and so you all get 6 gear points.
Nice.
As your favors are 3. So, good job. You did it.
Huzzah!
You all get 3 res points. Because
Nice.
it's standard adventure. You didn't, like...
We didn't,
It was dangerous, but it was average danger.
Get me back to my body.
Yep. Aw. And months have passed. The Wednesday group eventually reconnects with you. They got back through the Vulcanoid Gate. You get the details of their Zeno archaeological claim jumping scam. Which... Boy, you tell them about their favors, and you also get a message from Calamity. Calamity's got a lead on a huge heist. It seems Alexandria Crittenden had a vault on Mercury that has a massive treasure trove of data that is incredibly valuable. So you all get this information.
But is its value mercurial?
No, it's very static. It's true. So... You actually, she's partially translated some of the data from the ego of Alexandria Crittenden, Calamity has, and it reveals an XP, memory recording from that was sent to her by her father, General Luke Crittenden, a U.S. Army general who was one of the people who created and led the Titan Network project. So one of the architects of the Titans. He's commonly, publicly believed to be dead, killed in the fall. But Alexandria has an XP sent from him on an exoplanet somewhere.
Oh, shit.
Which means that he's not.
So
in fact,
this XP postcard shows him on a planet with a Earth-like atmosphere. And he talks about doing it right this time.
Oh, somebody's an ex-human.
Someone is rebuilding the Titans.
And we can't have that.
Stop remembering the Titans. Fuck.
So Calamity says he's rebuilding the Titan network, but one that is not corrupted, at least so far. One that is shackled so that it is not like going to kill everybody. It's on an exoplanet. Now, the thing is...
It's not corrupt yet.
Here's the thing. Alexandria removed part of her own memories, so she wouldn't know exactly which exoplanet it was. However, she put that information in a vault somewhere on Mercury. Now, you have the location of that vault. Calamity's getting that. And if you can get that, you can find out what exoplanet that is and how to get to it. So if you can get that exoplanet, you have potentially enough wealth or power to do whatever the fuck you want. You could sell this information and be rich enough to retire and get whatever you want 100 times over. Or, if you want to be a big boy, big time player, you could go there yourself, claim the Titan network for yourself. Also, it's it's an Earth-like atmosphere exoplanet. Incredibly valuable on its own. You could build your own nation. You could sell to someone else. You could have real power. So, and Calamity is like, well, we should at least get to that vault. We could sell it at least to someone else, and they could deal with it. And we could fuck off and not have to work again a day in our lives for 1,000 years. So, I say we go to Mercury. So, yeah.
I'm leaning that same direction.
Yep. So that is the lead Calamity has developed. That is going to be the single most profitable thing you could do with all the egos you have taken so far. Is to go to this vault on Mercury.
Okay.
So I'll update all your shit for your suspicion ratings, which I forgot to do at the beginning of this, but yeah. Yep. So, questions. You guys have fun?
Oh yeah, totally.
That was great.
Yeah, Greg, you have fun? Okay.
Good times.
Okay.
We actually get to pilot a space whale.
We did. We lived
Finally
the
used
dream. We got to do space whale stuff.
And Dave,
Thank you for your inspiration, Caleb.
So yeah, at the long-term results are that space whales are not, because you abandoned it, because you didn't let Impact Jones establish his own little foothold. They don't.
They're still free.
It's just remembered as a fad for that month. So remember space whale racing? That was popular back, for that 1 month. It's
that was so last month.
That's what it was. So
exactly. So, but yeah, the space whales just remember that one weird time that they were asked to race, and that was weird. That was kind of gross. Never again.
Their lead, I keep their leader's name again.
Mariana Stench.
Yeah, I like to think she's all right. Well, they kept their word. They didn't fuck things up.
Yep, that's why we could never let anyone else do that again.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So good job.
Yay,
you did it.
Although I am thinking of a way that we can use space whales again in the future, because I just realized that there is a very huge touristy money-making thing that we can do, and the space whales are going to love it anyway. They very much believe in free love. What happens in the sun stays in the sun.
Are you talking about prostituting space whales?
Not prostituting, but totally pay us money. We'll sleeve you into this Surya just in time for orgy season.
Oh God!
Prostituting.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's like Burning Man.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, space whale. Yeah, Burning Man.
Space
Very
whale.
burning. Yeah. They don't do that because again, they're capitalists. They don't really need the extra money. And especially because you've got them extra ice asteroids, they don't really need to. And nobody's there to really do that. So, but they could do that, but they won't.
At a future point in time.
Yeah,
but you know what?
You can always go back there to.
Well, I am making a mental note.
Make the best little space whale whorehouse in Texas.
But I am saying, I'm making a mental note. That is one of the things I'm going to add to my bucket list is space whale orgy.
Nice.
All
right.
I don't think that's a bucket list.
I think it is.
Dude.
Not with a B.
All right. Anyways, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you all next time. Bye.
Bye.